back and enjoy the action. It's Rangers against Benfica for a place in the quarter-finals of the Europa League with Stephen Thompson, Stuart McCall and Liam McLeod.
Well, Rangers weren't too happy with the kick-off time tonight. They've been kicking matches off in UEFA Cup competition at this time for a few years now. But what a racket inside Ibrox Stadium as Rangers and Benfica prepare to go head-to-head for a place in tomorrow's quarter-final draw. Both sets of players are now out there lining up either side of the match officials. The referee, 39-year-old Slovakian Ivan Kruzliak, who sent off Celtic's Daizen Maida in Madrid when Celtic lost 6-0 at Atletico in the Champions League groups this season. Rangers, of course, started the first leg so well. That Tom Lawrence header finding the net inside 7 minutes. They'll be hoping for an equally fast start to this one in the early evening here. The rain continuing to fall down, leaden skies above Glasgow as Rangers put an unbeaten home record against Portuguese clubs. Up against it this evening, they've won 7 and drawn 2 of the last 9 Europa League matches inside the stadium, and just 3 Europa League defeats since taking part in the competition in 2017. And of course they made their appearance in the final in 22. It's going to be a tall order to repeat that trick given the standard of opposition that we see in the Europa League knockout stages this season, as the Benfica players go over to their supporters on the far side and take one last bow before putting their hopes of ending a more than 60-year wait for European silverware. Twice European Cup winners in the early 60s. Eusebio starring in the second of those against that star-studded Real Madrid side. The scene is well and truly set here. Benfica, well, they weren't at their best last week. They did get back to winning ways on Sunday, beating Estoril 3-1. Then after 3 games without victory, including that draw against Rangers last week, a draw that's given Rangers all kinds of hope that they can repeat what they did so often here at Ibrox on their way to the final 2 years ago. Those memorable successes, come from behind victories in the second legs against Braga and against Leipzig. The Benfica players just going into a little pre-match huddle just now. That will go down well with the home fans, I wouldn't have thought. As Benfica replicate what Rangers' great rival Celtic do pre-match. A huge occasion, a huge night. It is all on the line. Rangers are going to kick off. They're going to go right to left. Blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops, shooting towards the Broomloan end. Benfica in their famous red and white will go left to right towards Copeland Road, and it is game on here at Ibrox. It's rolled back to John Lundstrom, who pumps the long right football forward. The header away there by the right centre-back, Antonio Silva, one of 3 real eye-catching youngsters that Benfica have in their squad. They're attracting interest from big clubs elsewhere, as down the right-hand side comes Rafa Silva. Rangers managed to keep relatively quiet last week, and he's run it out under pressure from John Suter and Mohamed Diamonde, and he goes behind for the goal kick. First real chance for Silva to run at the Rangers defence, but he was kept pretty quiet last night, and that's going to be important again this evening, you would have thought.
He was, yeah. I mean, you spoke before the game last Thursday about his pace and how dangerous he would be, but I felt as though Rangers managed them very, very well. On that occasion there, it's just a mistake from Diamande. He doesn't look, passes it back, he thinks to Yilmaz, and Rafa Silva was on it. I thought he would actually open his legs up. He didn't. He kind of slowed down a bit and allowed Suter and Diamande to get back and kind of get the ball off of him.
It's going to be a Benfica ball just about level with the edge of the D of their own box on this main stand side, and it is Ba who is booking away from missing their next European match should Benfica's journey continue beyond this evening. James Tavernier is in a similar boat. Stuart McCall, how important are these early exchanges in these type of matches?
Yeah, certainly are. I mean, just notice there, Goldson and Suter going for the same ball. Probably couldn't hear the shout because of the noise in the stadium at the moment, but Rangers just need to settle down the mid. 1 or 2 slap passes at the moment.
It is down that left-hand side with Benfica, midway inside the Rangers half, just knocked back to Florentino in the midfield area, back out to the left. He's going to get it back immediately here from David Neres, the Brazilian, won back brilliantly by Diamonde, who put in some shift in the Portuguese capital last week, as it breaks to the right centre-back again, Antonio Silva, out to Ba, and the Dane pitching it all the way back to his goalkeeper Anatoly Trubin, the Ukrainian, with a dink ball out to this near side, the little header infield, Ba infield to Di Maria, scored from the penalty spot last week, hits it long with the left foot, but it will skip off the greasy surface and all the way back to Jack Butland. It is 2.5 goalless minutes in here, and Suter rolls it short to Lundstrom to his left. Lundstrom with a low ball along the grass to Fabio Silva. Looked like he might well have had his jersey pulled there. He's battling for it on this near side as it bounces out of play off him last and out for a throw. And of course he was coming in for some treatment from the Benfica supporters last week. Fabio Silva, he came through the Porto Academy. The Rangers number 7 down on this near side. It's a Benfica throw-in. Ba takes for Neres, tries to find Di Maria, comes skipping off his ankle and out for a Rangers throw-in out on this near side.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting a bit of stick Liam, but I felt as though he dealt with the occasion well. Obviously had a big hand in one of the goals. He had a lovely kind of rolling shot in the second half. Maybe could have done a wee bit better with it and worked his socks off.
Long ball down the right hand side for Rangers, just goes over the head. Over on the far side of Scott Wright, big night for him. He has played in these big matches of course before, perhaps saw more action in these games, these type of games 2 years ago than he thought possible at one point. Looked as though he was away last summer as well, Scott Wright, so chance for him as the long ball pumped forward towards Fabio Silva. Header is only half clear, Lawrence getting onto it but he can't get it under control, and it's rifled clear up towards the halfway line for Neres, but he's ransacked by John Lundstrom. He goes all the way back to Butler. To say Stuart's an area of the pitch you know so well. John Lundstrom, Mohamed Diamonde were excellent last week.
Yeah, listen, I think Lundstrom's come onto a game. I think, you know, early part of the season went great. I think the manager's done fantastic for him. Diamonde's come in, and as you say, for me, it's the most important part of the pitch. I'll say that even though Tom was next to him and they get paid all the money, the strikers. But if you win that middle of the park, you've got a good chance of winning the game.
It's Fabio Silva on the near side winning the throw-in. Yilmaz is over it. Remember, no away goal rule anymore, and Roger Smith down there was saying it's essentially 0-0. It's essentially reset. The away goal rule abolished a couple of seasons ago now by UEFA. There are many who feel that that shouldn't have been the case. You see some of the tepid performances by visiting teams in European first legs in particular. Benfica pick up on the far side. Wasn't the case for Rangers in Lisbon last week, scoring the 2 goals as Neres comes down the left. Tavernier for company, but he's got back onto it left hand side, looking for the low ball across. It's well defended by John Suter, under pressure there from Marcus Leonardo, who starts up front for Benfica this evening. They still have it down by the corner flag with Neres just rolling it up the line there for Ausnes, and he's lost out, and Rangers able to clear the lines onto the chest of Lawrence. He's on his own at the moment, crossing halfway. Desser's in support ahead of him now. He's got Wright as well. He's to check his run. He's under pressure from Florentino, wins it back. The referee allowing Benfica an advantage. There was a foul there as Rafa Silva turns it out to Neres on the left hand side. Low ball in field. Rafa Silva just popping it through there for Leonardo, sliding in Suter. He started the game well, back in the Scotland squad as well, of course, as he puts it out for a throw-in on the far side, about level with the Rangers penalty spot in front of the Sandy Jardine Govan stand.
I don't think there's a doubt Lawrence's best position is where he's playing, but when he gets that ball in that area of the park as a number 10, he's got to look after it better than that. He's got good ability, but he's got to look after the ball for Rangers. I
didn't think Desser's run was great. Desser strayed offside really early, and it kind of limited Lawrence with his next pass.
Rangers clear from inside their own box. Suter, long ball forward, the right foot, 6 in, 0-0. Desser's going forward, but that's brilliant. Bit of nonchalant defending there by Antonio Silva, just to get out of the sky in these conditions as well. He made that look so simple, facing his own goal with the Rangers number 9 breathing down his neck. Outstanding defending, and even just looking at that touch from the 20-year-old, you can see why he's so highly sought after.
You can. I mean, I don't think too many defenders on a night like tonight, when it's so greasy, would have taken that risk, but it shows you the confidence he has in his own ability.
It's going to be a Benfica ball over on that left-hand side. Their number 87, Joao Neves, is over it. Little free kick. little niggly fouls. Back with Otamendi with the short sleeves and the gloves on here. As that goes out of play, I think, on the far side. The ref assistant on the far side is flag waving. It's play on. It's going to be brought back for a foul there on Neres. Just a little trip there by Tom Lawrence. That's going to be a Benfica free kick left of the centre circle. There's 3 Rangers players around Neres. He was in a cul-de-sac there, and eventually he wins the foul off Lawrence, who, looking at the replay there, we've got a monitor in front of us, a couple of them in fact. So Lawrence got a bit of the ball there, as Di Maria picks up on this near side. Lovely little ball infield for Rafa Silva. It's the edge of the D for Neres. Back to Silva. Rolls it forward towards Marcus Leonardo. Rangers get it half away. Tavernier picking up though. A couple of Benfica players felt Tavernier used an arm to control as the long ball comes forward. And it's a little cushion header there by Antonio Silva into the midfield, and he gets it back immediately out on this near side. No away goal rule now, Stuart. That completely changes the dynamic of these matches, doesn't it? Because otherwise Rangers will be coming into this with an advantage. 100%,
Liam, exactly. I think they've showed the class early on, you know, a couple of times. I think Rangers, it's key for the midfield boys to make sure they follow the runs. Balls are getting played round them. They've got to keep with the runners, and you know, just got to settle down a little bit, try to get a little bit of possession, because it's Benfica are on a lot of the ball at the moment.
It's collected on this near side by Antonio Silva into the midfield for Neres, who's popped up on this right hand side into Ba. Brilliant defending again by Suter there, just to pitch it off Leonardo, and it's all the way back with Butland, who'll be desperately trying to put the disappointment of failing to get into the England squad behind him. He was excellent last week, some really important saves. The header away by Otamendi, only as far as Diamonde inside the centre circle, striding forward, under pressure, forces it to right, back to Diamonde, whips it towards the edge of the D. Header away by Ba. Lundstrom then knocks it out to this near side. Too much on it though for Fabio Silva to deal with, and it's gone out for a Benfica throw-in. Rangers nil, Benfica nil, 2-2 in aggregate, almost 9 in.
But I think that's the key if Rangers are going along, like Butland did there. If Dessa doesn't win the first one, Diamande lands on the second one. It's so important to pick up the bits in the middle of the park.
It is with Ausnes over on the far side. Saw him playing for Norway against Scotland in those 2 games in European Championship qualifying last year. It's given away at the back there by Benfica. Fabio Silva, Rangers have a man down on the edge of the box. Benfica struggling to get this away. Lawrence all over it. Diamonde back to Lundstrom. Now Silva inside the penalty area, onto the right foot, bends it towards the back post. The header back from right, doesn't have enough on it, and it's headed clear by Ausnes. Still Rangers have it. Diamonde, right hand side of the box. He's had it pinched off him by Florentino, and it's out to the left hand side for Di Maria. Back to Florentino, and then to Ausnes inside his own box. He rifles it clear with the right foot, and it stays goalless. Rangers' best attacking moments of the game though in this second leg. It stays nothing each, but here's a chance for Benfica on the counter. Long ball for Di Maria, takes it down, facing Connor Goldson, up towards the edge of the box now. He's inside it, left hand side, crosses in, diving header away by Suter, and out for a throw in on the far side to Benfica, level with the Rangers penalty spot. One end to the other.
It's brilliant stuff at this minute in time, Liam. It really is. Rangers with their best opportunities so far in the game. I think they were looking for a foul on Yilmaz in the box. I didn't see it myself, and then the ball in from Silva to the back post was excellent. Scott Wright probably the wrong man to be on the end of it, really. He tries his best to knock it back across goal, but it was ultimately cleared, and then the counter again from Benfica.
Yeah, here's Ausnes now driving at the left angle of the Rangers box, rolls it to the edge for Rafa Silva. His effort scuffed, and it goes behind for the first corner of this match. It goes to Benfica over on the left hand side. An opportunity for them to send Otamendi and Antonio Silva forwards, the big centre backs, to try and get to the end of Di Maria's corner. They had loads of these. I think they were into double figures by half time last week. Got an opportunity here.
He had loads of corners. He drilled most of them in at the front post, but it looks like this is going to be an outswinger from Di Maria.
Angel Di Maria. It's another poor one. He's clear by Diamonde in the near post area. Fabio Silva taking it down in the chest. Now he's driving forward. He tried to force it through the Dessers. Might break Lawrence's way here. He's got it now. He's got an opportunity to slip it to the right for Silva. Finds Fabio Silva. Lawrence continues his run. He's in the box, and his shot is saved by Truban, who let it squirm away from him and behind for the corner. Fabio Silva trying to whip up the Rangers supporters. I'm not sure they need too much of that, to be honest, as Rangers get their first corner of the match.
Yeah, terrific break from Rangers. Lawrence does well, pouncing on it. Silva puts him back in. Keeper blunders it a little bit, could have gone in at near post there, but that's lifted the crowd and lifted the players.
Really quick counter-attack there from Rangers. Brilliant play. Tom Lawrence heavily involved. Silva as well. The shot from Lawrence really shouldn't have tested Truban, but he's let it slip under his gloves for the corner.
And Rangers profit from the set play here. Tavernier right in front of the Benfica supporters over on the far side with the outswinger. He's drilled in low toward Lawrence, forces it towards goal, and it's cut out. Maybe the side foot. Tavernier volleys it into the box, headed away by Antonio Silva, and now Benfica are heading forward on a counter here. Out to the right hand side, Neres. He's got an opportunity for Rafa Silva through the middle. He didn't spot him in time though. It's a good thing from a Rangers point of view, as Neres instead with the left foot, big switch out to Di Maria, left hand side, left angle of the box, chops onto the right, then onto the left and loses it. Breaks though to Ausnes. He's got space to shoot, which he does, and Butland throws himself down low to make a relatively comfortable save. Always difficult in these conditions with the goalkeepers. 12.5 in 0-0. Stuart McCall, we saw Truban struggle with the condition just a moment ago, but that's a good bit of goalkeeping from Butland.
It was, but it came from a Rangers corner, and they were very brave. They've not left nobody back, and they could be open to the counter-attack there. It was nicely worked. Lawrence didn't get enough on it, but on the counter-attack, Lundstrom's back, who's not the most paciest. You've just got to keep an eye out on that. But yeah, Butland was very comfortable in that.
Fairly hectic opening, goalless 13 minutes at Ibrox Stadium, and it is Lundstrom out to this near side, right footed pass to Silva. He's got Diamonde in field. Silva continues his run, but it's Diamonde going back into his own half for Lundstrom. Scored one of Rangers' most famous European goals in recent years, when he scored the proved to be the semi-final winner against RB Leipzig 2 years ago to take them into that final in Seville. The long ball evades Fabio Silva down by the corner flag and behind for a Benfica corner. How's Philippe Clement feeling watching these opening exchanges?
Yeah, I think Rangers have settled these last kind of 4 or 5 minutes. They've certainly got forward with more purpose, but they, you know, Benfica look a real threat when Rangers do overcommit and they do counter. They've got pace, and that's something that Rangers really need to be aware of. I'm delighted about the quality of the game, because it's really end to end. Both teams going for it, as you'd expect in a game that basically takes you into the quarter-finals.
The draw for which is tomorrow. Benfica in possession here. It is Ba down the right hand side for Neres. Level the edge of the D of the Rangers box, and he just turns, and his touch takes it out of play. Obviously didn't realise where the touchline was, and it's out for a Rangers throw-in. And it's back to Suter, who finds Goldson, whose own goal last week is what prevented Rangers taking a lead back to Glasgow with them. Second time he's put through his own net in the Estadio da Luz, having done so in the 3-3 draw between the sides a few seasons ago. As Tavernier picks up on the right, a long ball towards Cyril Dessers, who's going to chase it, but it skips all the way through to Truban. A little bit fortunate because he's taken a touch off Otamendi's toe there, which could have proved problematic for the Ukrainian keeper, as he bowls it to Nicolas Otamendi, won his 100th Argentina cap in that World Cup final win over France on penalties just under a year and a half ago. He's out of play for a Rangers throw-in over on that far side.
I think there's one thing you can say about Dessers, Liam. He's a willing runner, isn't he? You know, he does like to run in behind a lot, and it could cause problems if it's his second balls a lot of the time. He's certainly looking for that.
Here's Suter, good run forward to Yilmaz on the left as Toss takes a touch off a Benfica defender, and that will take it back to the goalkeeper, who will hold on. Yeah, on Dessers, he's up to 16 goals. This is his 43rd appearance. I suppose, Stuart, when you look at the pantheon of Rangers strikers down the years here at this club, the standards are so high. You think of McCoist and Haitley, who you played most notably with, and in more recent times the likes of Chris Boyd, Kenny Miller, we've seen Alfredo Morelos, all hit the ground running. He's taken a while to win the Rangers support over, perhaps hasn't fully done so yet, but is it a respectable return in your eyes?
Yeah, you've got to say the return of goals certainly is. Whether he would have played as much, obviously if Roof and Danilo would have been fit, obviously not, but listen, he's getting picked, he's giving his all. Yeah, he can be frustrating at times without a doubt, but who knows, he might be the match winner tonight, and he's a willing lad. He wants to do his best for the club, and you know, when somebody's like that, you've just got to keep backing them. Although, as I said, it can be frustrating, there's no doubt about it.
Connor Goldson possession wide on the right hand side. Chip ball onto the chest of Tavernier in there. Right flank for Rangers, forward to Scott Wright. Lovely play, direct into the box, and he wins the corner. Really good positive play by Scott Wright. Wins it off Auchness, and Rangers have another corner over on that right hand side.
Brilliant from Tavernier, slips it into right. He manages to kind of dance past a couple of challenges, gets to the byline. It's actually really well defended from Auchness in the end, and that'll do his confidence the world of good. Scott Wright getting a big cheer from the crowd, and an opportunity for Rangers to try another corner kick. Again, nobody back.
It's not every day you nutmeg a World Cup winner. It's what Wright did with Otamendi there. Tavernier with the corner. Souttar's making a run inside the box, and it comes. Lawrence can't get onto it, breaks to Yilmaz, takes a touch at the edge of the box, shoots deflected and headed away by Otamendi. Van Yilmaz with the header forward is easily cleared by Auchness. Pushing header back, Yilmaz to Lundstrom, tries to hoist it forward down this near side, and it will be picked up by Benfica with Alexander Ba. Goes long down the right. Rafa Silva comes wide, he's right hand side of the box, he's onto it, plays it right across the face of the goal, and Benfica with Marcus Leonardo inside the 6-yard box will be disappointed they've not managed to get a shot goal there. And you feel from that range, with that ball, the quality of the cross, that Benfica were potentially going 1-0 up there with a little touch onto it. No touch came, so Rangers come away, and they've got Fabio Silva on this near side, shrugging off Di Maria, showing too much of it though to the other players, Joao Neves on this occasion, and then the referee blows the whistle. That's going to be a free kick.
It was brilliant movement, that opportunity there. Rafa Silva, Rangers defence are very much all over the place, and the ball he puts in is begging to be put in. The problem was, I don't think, who was it that made the run to the front post area? Was it Leonardo? He just hadn't kept up the pace of Silva into that right hand side. When he does flash it across, he's maybe a yard or two just behind. It was a great ball, great run from Silva.
Nothing between them as yet, 0-0 on the night, 18.5 minutes in here on Sportsound and BBC Radio Scotland. On Extra, on digital, online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Truban along the 6-yard line, he's a bit fortunate there. They're claiming for handball. Fabio Silva most notably, and the Rangers fans in the Broom Lawn, but Benfica clear. Long ball, Angel Di Maria chasing, but Souttar gets there first and calmly turns it back to Butland inside the 6-yard box, who controls and clears with the right foot as the rain continues to tumble down here in Glasgow. And there's a head knock by the looks of things inside the centre circle. Scott Wright's been caught. Might be Otamendi who was challenging him, the Benfica skipper. And the ref is to stop play to allow attention to Scott Wright. I think that just allows everyone just to take a little breather here. I don't think there's much in that. Otamendi's got eyes on the ball there, and he's caught right on the as he's dropping back down to earth.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get contact from a big centre half, that's 100% right. Scott Wright, I think he just kind of maybe brushes the back of his neck or the back of his head with his arm as they're coming down from the aerial challenge, but it certainly didn't look too much.
And the thing is, Tomo, where the medics are over him at the minute, but what we saw and what we've seen on the replays, it looked just like the hand on the back of the head.
Yeah, it didn't look too much.
And if that's a Benfica player, I'm thinking, get up, you know, there's nothing wrong with you. But just going back to a minute ago, I mean, really good defending by Souttar on the channel. I mean, I think if he's up against a quicker player, he might be in trouble there, but he defended it really well.
He started well, and of course Rangers felt the award against him last week. It was in the extremely harsh category. Benfica were awarded the penalty after the VAR check. Di Maria converted rights on his feet, being helped off the pitch just now. Rangers, they've won 8 of the previous 11 UEFA two-legged ties in which they drew the first game away from home, but they lost the most recent one, which was against Slavia Prague in 2021 in this tournament. As Di Maria turns it back the way Matt was at this stage as well. Here is Florentino in the midfield, popping it forward to Marcus Leonardo. His touch lets him down though, comes out to this near side, and Yilmaz finds Diamande in the midfield to Tavernier, who rifles it forward, not his best pass, given away. Picked up by Benfica with Florentino, rolling it to Joao Neves. He's got Neres to his left. Joao Neves up to the edge of the box, good challenge by Lundstrom. Loose ball, breaks to Neres, little back flick for Auschness at the byline, left-hand side of the box. Bouncing ball's awkward, two Rangers players trying to deal with it, in the end neither really did. Lundstrom gets onto it now, fires it high and away, and Otamendi, I'm not sure if he misjudged that. That was a wonderful flick there to his settled defensive partner Antonio Silva. He's won a World Cup, so maybe we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you probably should, but no, he didn't mean that.
It's Benfica in possession here. Rafa Silva to Neres, out to Auschness on the far side touchline, infield to the central left area for Di Maria, skipping forward, rolling it into the Rangers box, low and cleared by Goldson as he tried to find Neres. It's going to be a Benfica throw-in over on that left-hand side. Benfica haven't lost at this stage of the Europa League since it was rebranded. Rangers have come through one tie at this stage since it was changed from the UEFA Cup. That was 2 years ago when they knocked out Red Star, setting up the quarter-final with another Portuguese side in Braga. As Ba picks up on this right-hand side, a misunderstanding goal with Rafa Silva, and it goes out for a Rangers throw-in. Silva there, Rafa Silva and Otamendi, the only two survivors in the Benfica squad from the two draws in the group stage between these two back in 2021, as Diamonde picks up left of the centre circle under serious pressure from Joao Neves. He gets it out to the right-hand side for Tavernier. He finds Diamonde, who goes back to Suter. We're a quarter of the way into the second leg. 0-0, 2-2 in aggregate, as it was at full time in Lisbon last week. Extra time and penalties, remember, if required. Here's Van Yilmaz on the left, chopping in field, right foot cross ball comes in, looking for Scott Wright, headed away by Auschness, picked up by Tavernier. Little ball in field to Diamonde. Plenty of time at the moment as he side foots it forward to Wright, trying to skip away from Auschness, flicks it with the outside of the boot towards Dessers on the edge of the D, but given away. And it's Benfica with Florentino, short ball out to Di Maria on this near side, back to Ba, who finds Antonio Silva, who's at walking pace. Dessers comes to meet him now, out to this near side. Be caught forward by Ba. Rangers ransack Benfica in the midfield, and it's Lundstrom who emerges with it. Out to the left-hand side with Van Yilmaz, who decides to go back into his own half for Suter, who started the game very well. Benfica managed to win their first match after 3 without at the weekend, beating Estoril 3-1. Another difficult enough match for them. They did get a relatively early lead. It was cancelled out, but ran out victors. It's much needed for them. Good play, Rangers here. Lundstrom to Lawrence, first time out to Yilmaz, left foot cross comes in, and Otamendi flicks it away with Dessers lurking behind them. Tavernier picks up the scratch, right hand side of the box, back to Diamonde. His attempted cross cut out by David Neres. It's with Lundstrom to Lawrence to Diamonde, flicks it out to Tavernier. Rangers attacking here. It's a big deep ball towards Fabio Silva, and Ba takes no chances and concedes. Maybe a throw-in actually. Yeah, I thought it was going for a corner, but it's bounced over the corner flag and out for a throw-in on this Rangers left-hand side. It's actually going to be taken. They don't mind with the yardage when it's coming back the way for some reason. This is going to be about level with the 6-yard line, even though it went out down by the corner flag. Yilmaz waits to take, looking for some options in blue and white. He's found one in Lawrence, at least that was the option he went for. It's a comfortable header clear. And Benfica through Ba initially get it back into the Rangers half, and it's Goldson to the left for Suter. And now it's Diamonde. 20 to the break in this second leg. Rangers 0, Benfica 0, and really there's not much between them, you'd have to say.
There's not. There's another couple of really decent balls in. A really couple of decent balls in from Rangers there. Yilmaz from the left-hand side, and then Tavernier with another kind of deep cross from the right-hand side. Just nobody able to get on the end of it.
Yeah. It started, Liam, with Lundstrom likes to come out on the left-hand side in his side, and he found Lawrence with a lovely ball in behind where in that number 10 position. And if he can keep doing that and then get Yilmaz and get a good crossing, but it's good football by Rangers.
Rangers have it here with Lundstrom. It's a long ball looking for Cyril Dessers in behind. Antonio Silva is the covering player, though he gets it clear first time as Di Maria picks up for Benfica, finds Florentino, finds Joao Neves, and then Ba goes back to his goalkeeper, and that's sliced badly by Trubin, and that's going to go out of play for a throw-in on this near side. The goalie looks nervous. He looks nervous tonight, especially after that little fumble earlier.
Yeah, and if you think back to last week, he comes out and makes a mess of the punch for the second goal from Dujon Stillen.
Here's Lundstrom at the edge of the area to the edge of the D for Lawrence. She's tried to spin with the defender, wins it back, but there's the impressive Suter pinching it back for Rangers, high up the pitch as well. Right goes back to Suter, he crosses in, and it bounces off the Benfica defender behind for the corner.
Superb by Suter, read the game well, good ball back from right, and what a fantastic whip crossing, good defending by Benfica.
It really was a superb cross into such a brilliant area, right in the middle of the 6-yard box, and you have to say it was defended well.
Rangers' third corner of the piece. They're 3-1 up on that score right now. It's 2-2, it still is on aggregate 0-0 in the night. Outswinging delivery coming off main stand side for Rangers from Ridvan Yilmaz, and it comes on the 6-yard line by Auschness, who was begging for someone in blue to get their head onto it. Tavernier gets onto it in the centre circle and turns it back to his keeper first time. Really good delivery.
Great corner by Yilmaz. Somebody's got to go, Goldson, somebody's got to go put their head on it.
Yeah, it did seem as though he had done everything he could do in that case, Tom. He would have loved to have got in the end of that one.
Yeah, there's been a couple of crosses so far this evening I'd like to have been on the end of, but they've just got to keep asking those questions, keep putting the balls into the area and hope for some good movement and extra numbers in the box to get on the end of it.
Diamande for Rangers, just inside his own half, slips it along the halfway line to Lundstrom, who finds Goldson to his right. Goldson at walking pace, firing it forward to right, first time looking for Lawrence, couldn't quite get the break of the ball on the far side. Nicholas Otamendi clears, cushion header Goldson on the halfway line, infield to Diamande, and now it's with Lundstrom, forward to Fabio Silva, to Diamande, to Lundstrom, first time forward, cut out by Di Maria. Diamande trying to win it back off him, bounces off Di Maria. The Rangers fans think he used a hand. Benfica play on, and now Rafa Silva going through the gears, driving forward deep into the Rangers half. Well defended by Tavernier though. The Rangers skipper emerges with it. How often has he been the man on these kind of nights? Continental competition. He's found Scott right down the right hand side. Chip ball in, diving header away. It was an important one by Antonio Silva. Benfica clear, and it's Suter winning it back. Again, it's great awareness by Suter winning up Leonardo in the centre circle. Now he's found Lawrence, who rolls it with the right foot out to Fabio Silva, level with the edge of the D of the Benfica box on the left-hand side. Now with Lawrence, it's a delicate flighted ball into the box, diving header away by Auschness. And Rangers beginning to take a bit of control in this match. And they make it count though. Long ball in from the right, headed away once again by Antonio Silva, picked up by Lundstrom. Rangers and Benfica just where they want them right now, pinned back inside their own half. It's now with Diamande, firing it forward, way too much in the pass for Yilmaz though, especially in these conditions, and it goes behind for the goal kick to Benfica. It is Rangers nil, Benfica nil on 29.5 minutes just about.
Certainly more encouraging in the last 5-10 minutes of possession of the ball. I mean, you know, as Thomas said, Suter's reading in the game. You know, he stepped in front a couple of times, putting good pressure high up the park, and when they've got it, just got to be a little bit more care in the final third.
Ball forward through then into the centre circle, comes off the head of Goldson. Tavernier trying to bump Neres away, manages to flick it on, can't find Diamande though. And it's Joao Neves on this near side for Benfica. A little slip from Yilmaz, that could be costly because here's Di Maria looking to flick it through to Neres, right hand side of the box. Opportunity here with Marcus Leonardo waiting in the middle. The ball comes across, it's blocked, but it breaks to Di Maria, who slices it, and there's a header wide there from Marcus Leonardo at the left angle of the 6-yard box. It was Di Maria's failed effort at goal that came his way, but he couldn't divert the header on target, and it stays Rangers nil, Benfica nil on the half hour.
Really good from Neres down this right hand side, sold Goldson, got to the byline. His cross was clear to the edge of the box. I think sat up perfectly for Di Maria to hit it. You're right, he lost his footing just as he hit it, and then thankfully nothing came of it.
Got to find Lawrence in that number 10 position. Diamande or Lundstrom can look up when they're receiving it. He's in acres of space.
Ridvan Yilmaz in possession, and back to Suter. If you're just joining us, it's been a relatively even first half so far here at Ibrox. The last 5 minutes or so though, Rangers have taken a bit of control in the match. And then Suter with a low ball up to halfway for Fabio Silva. Under pressure from Florentino, he finds Yilmaz. He goes back to Suter, to Lundstrom. John Lundstrom square to Goldson. Goldson then rolling it out to the right-hand touchline there for Tavernier, who goes long with the right foot. Lawrence looking for it, the header away by Antonio Silva. And breaks Florentino's way. Then Di Maria, he's given it to Rangers though. It was a poor pass. It's won back by Scott Wright for Rangers. Yilmaz out to Fabio Silva on this near side. Low ball in field to Lundstrom. Forward to Lawrence. First time Dessers. Now Wright shoots from the edge of the box. It's over the bar. He was slipping as he was hitting it from the edge of the D. And it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 0. Stuart McCall.
Just what we're talking about there. Lundstrom into Lawrence. Good little play. Good football. Slipping as he's to it, but encouraging. That's it. Lundstrom's got that vision. He knows Lawrence is playing as a 10. He's getting behind the midfield of Benfica, trying to find him more with the ball, because he can certainly score from them areas or create.
It's been a mixed bag for Benfica in recent times, UEFA competition, when they've drawn the first leg at home. Coming away, they've won 7, they've lost 7. As Lawrence picks up Diamande ahead of him at the edge of the Benfica box. Left foot cross comes in, looking for Dessers, headed away by Antonio Silva. Bouncing ball, the edge of the box, awkward for the defending team, but they've dealt with it pretty well, albeit the clearance from Va comes off Joao Neves. He can't do anything with it, and breaks Suter's way as he turns it back into his own half for Goldson, and out to the left for Suter.
These last 7 or 8 minutes, Rangers have really got control of the game. Benfica not getting out of their own half. Rangers just need to do that wee bit more with it when they get into that final third. Yes, they put some decent balls into the box, a shot over the bar, but still not really tested the goalkeeper.
They're touching 60% the possession stakes, Rangers, right now. After 33 minutes just about, it's with Tavernier on the right. The referee slips as Tavernier crosses in. Antonio Silva heads away, breaks to Fabio Silva at the edge of the box. It's ball back out to Tavernier to control with the head, facing the government stand on the far side, rolling it to Diamande. Didn't look favourite there, but he's bullied his opposite number off it. Down he goes, no free kick. Benfica play on. Rangers trying desperately to win it back off Neres, but Di Maria's in loads of space on the right hand side, and they found him. Anker Di Maria reflects him to the outside of the left foot, and he just couldn't find Marcus Leonardo, who does get onto it, but in a much less dangerous position than Di Maria was trying to find him in. It stays 0-0. And Di Maria was all on his own wide on this near side. He's on it again, shoots for goal, high into the Copeland stand, and it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 0. The boos from the Rangers supporters, because they felt they should have had a free kick just before Di Maria was set away down this right hand side.
Yeah, they were not happy. That led to the counter attack. Very difficult to see for us on the far side of the pitch. I don't know if we're going to get a replay, but I don't think we are. And then the counter down the right hand side, Di Maria opting to go with the outside of his left foot, and it was, you know, an alright ball into an okay area, but you're expecting a wee bit more quality from somebody of his stature.
And a bit cheap from Rangers this time on this near side. Suter has forced to head it out for a Benfica throw-in.
As much as we're saying, Liam, you know, Rangers could take care in the last third. Benfica have 2 or 3 opportunities. If they pick the right pass in the final, 18-yard box, we would have been in trouble.
It's up to the edge of the box here with Neres getting it back to Marcus Leonardo. Neres has some space, he shoots, blocked by Yilmaz, sticking to him like glue on that occasion. Diamande goes down again, and once again the Slovakian referee is unmoved. No free kick for Rangers. Ankel Di Maria picking up on this near side. Fabio Silva just gives him a little nudge. He can't control, and it goes out for a throw-in. He's not complaining too much. He normally does in that kind of situation. He's easy to wind up, I think, Di Maria. He was last week anyway.
Yeah, he's not been the best of matches so far, I have to say. A couple of slack ones, and you're expecting, as I just said, more from him once he gets into those areas.
Scored Argentina's second in that World Cup final against France in Qatar. Came off after an hour though. Age catches up with us all, and Di Maria 36 these days, as is his compatriot Otamendi. Di Maria in his second spell at Benfica. They were his first club in Europe. As Lundstrom finds Yilmaz stepping away midway inside the Benfica half, central area, out to Fabio Silva, attacking the left angle of the box on the right foot, side foot to the edge of the area for Lawrence, just flicked it away from his first man, who was Florentino, but Joao Neves was there to clear as Goldson picks up, and he rolls it back to his goalkeeper Butland. So calm, finds Diamande, and now Lundstrom you're going to make an impression in these major European competitions, you need a good goalkeeper. Butland's exactly that. Alan McGregor 2 years ago all the way to the final. Here's a chance. Lundstrom gave it away. Di Maria, right hand side of the box, pulls it back. Opportunity knocks for Benfica here. Can they take it across the face of goal? It's blocked. And behind it goes for a Benfica corner. I think it's been given. This is really careless from John Lundstrom, and it could have been so costly. It could have been a lot worse than a corner.
Not only gives the ball away, but it doesn't track Di Maria. If he tracks him, he stops it. He makes up for his error. But then it's just desperate defending, but good defending in the end. But again, giving the ball away cheaply.
Yeah, it was a big error, and Rangers really should have been punished for it. The ball get rolled across the 6-yard line, and I think it might have been Neves. I'm not sure if it was Rafa Silva.
Rafa Silva hit it. It's come off Tavernier. It's fortunate from a Rangers point of view. They've still got to face this Di Maria corner to be taken wide in the left. 8 to the break. Low ball to the left angle of the box. Joao Neves back to Di Maria. Left foot cross comes in. They're claiming, I think, for a handball against the defender, albeit would have been outside the box off Diamande. And he was behind for another Benfica corner. And all this duress has come from one slack bit of play from John Lundstrom.
Yeah, and he'd been having a decent game up to that point. It was as if he was just about to play a pass and change his mind at the very last second, and the ball just clipped off his toe, and it just shows you how quickly you can be countered on by a team of this quality.
Di Maria with the corner once again, outswinger straight into the box this time. There's a flick header away, I think, by a Rangers defender. Breaks out to the right hand side of the box, the reverse side from where the corner was taken by Rafa Silva, who plays it off Dessers. And Benfica have another corner, a third in quick succession, to be taken this time on the main stand side.
By the way, that might be one of Dessers' first touches. How long?
Far off it, yeah, in his own box.
Minutes, and he's 2 yards from his own dead ball line, but he had to get back and help the team.
Di Maria comes out to this near side to take it. 38 on the clock. Rangers 0, Benfica 0. And the Portuguese champions having a real spell of pressure on the Rangers defence here. And Jack Butland's goal. In-swinging corner with a left peg coming up here from Di Maria from this Benfica right, and it comes a better delivery, flicked away well though by James Tavernier. Scraps picked up by Rafa Silva over on the left hand side touchline to the edge of the box. Joao Neves, pure touch now. Scott Wright takes a touch, fancies his chances. He's beaten for pace, driving forward. Wright's having his jersey pulled at the moment. Wright rolls it to Lawrence. He can flick it through. Dessers saved by Trubin, but the offside flag goes up. And Fabio Silva, given Dessers looked offside, looked to be the better option there. It stays Rangers 0, Benfica 0.
And that's why Scott Wright's in the side. Look at his pace, breaks from his own half. Gets a little bit fortunate, but picks a decent ball. I thought Lawrence was going to go outside again. Cuts it back. Dessers is 2 yards offside.
Yeah, well off. Silva was the pass, Stephen.
Yeah, or if Dessers had managed to look across the line and hold his line. That's 2 times tonight he's done that, making a run that's just taken him offside, too eager. When he gets in there, he doesn't know he's offside, and he really should have scored. It's a good save from Trubin, you have to say, but he should have scored nonetheless. But yeah, Scott Wright carrying the ball with a good 70 yards, and that's what he can bring to Rangers.
It is chucking it down here. It has done from the get-go in Glasgow and the southwest and west coast today. There's a long ball towards Dessers, is headed away calmly by Antonio Silva to this near side. Ba clearing his lines. Rafa Silva tries to control, but Lundstrom pinches it off him, driving down this near side. Rafa Silva slides in and puts it out for a Rangers throw-in over here as we tick into the final 5 minutes. 45 of the first half of the second leg of this Europa League last 16 tie at Ibrox.
Despite there not being a lot of clear-cut chances, it's been a really intriguing game, a really interesting game. It's played at a lot of pace, and it's kind of chopped and changed from who's had control. I'd say Rangers largely have had a lot of control in this first half, but then Benfica come back in a wee 5-minute spells that we just saw there with the 3 or 4 corners in a row. It's been good to watch.
They always look as though they're carrying a threat in the break.
They do.
Don't they? That's the thing. They look really threatening. Rangers have had a lot of the ball just on the counter attack. But listen, they'll have known that before the game. At least they're in it, and they're in there scrapping.
8 wins, 3 draws, 0 defeats for Rangers against Portuguese opponents here inside their own stadium. And if that record remains, they will be through to the quarters. Second time in 2 years. But here come Benfica with Joao Neves. Rangers looking a little bit stretched at the back here. Auschness, first time ball forward, looking for Marcus Leonardo, but closing the back door was Connor Goldson. Fires it out of play for a Benfica throw-in over on the far side. Really important, always is, no matter what level. This is a really important phase in the game here, these minutes before the interval. And it will be a throw for Benfica. Auschness takes short to Neres in field for Joao Neves. Ball forward and down goes Marcus Leonardo, claiming he was fouled by Goldson. The ref doesn't agree and it's booted away by Tavernier. Underneath it is Otamendi, just turns it back to his keeper. The ball beginning to stick a little bit. Some saturated parts of the pitch out there, and that was just a little section inside the Benfica box where it just slowed down, and that is always problematic. Won't have to look back too far in this very city, albeit in another stadium when Georgia played Scotland in Hampden last June, as Yilmaz picks up square ball in field. Wright goes after it again, it's stuck in the turf. Just that real heavy spell. It's eased off slightly, but there was torrential rain there for a few minutes, which seems to have slowed the pitch down a little bit. As Rafa Silva comes forward, brilliant challenging back by Lawrence to win it back off him. Didn't look in his rear view mirror there, did the Benfica player. That's a pure fast right for Dessers. Again, I'm not sure if it's stuck in the park there. It's prevented it getting through to the Nigerian. But here come Benfica up the other end with Neres. At the left angle of the Rangers box, drops the shoulder, cuts back onto his right side, still in his left foot though, twisting and turning. Tavernier defending it well though, and brought down by Neres, and that was really good, experienced defending by James Tavernier. Got himself between the man and the ball, knew his team was under a bit of pressure there, wins the free kick for his side. 2 minutes left in the first half. Rangers 0, Benfica 0.
I think the last 3 or 4 minutes been like a basketball game, wasn't it? End to end. I think you've been kind for Scott right there. I think it was a poor pass, but the conditions matter. I'll tell you what Rangers are doing, and then hopefully it continue. They're defending well. They're getting a toe in when they need to be. Good play by Tavernier there again. Lawrence got back in, they're working as a team, and that's what you've got to do. Every man has got. It's about reactions. That's what disappointed me with Lundstrom when he gave the ball away. Everyone makes mistakes. It's your reaction, what you do after you give the ball away.
You get flashbacks to Hampden in June here.
It's not quite that bad, Liam.
Not yet.
I don't think it'll get to that stage.
It was Di Maria. Well, if it does, we're here till midnight. As Joao Neves.
Was a long old night.
It certainly was. Sure, you claim the overtime though.
No such thing.
Here's Benfica on the left with Otamendi to Neres, tries to fire it through, it's cut out, breaks to Goldson instead. Manages to find Tavernier, he just launches it forward as we go into the final minute of the 45 of the first half. Right through the Truban, he's outside his box, and again it's a poor clearance. He's put it straight into touch for a Rangers throw-in, which Tavernier's taken quickly to Lawrence, to Lundstrom. And Rangers finish the first half with a flourish here. Breaks to Diamonde, he's got it under control at the right angle of the box, looks to chip it into the area, cleared by Ba, only as far as Tavernier. This is coming right back at the Benfica defence, this. Diamonde disguises the ball to Wright, who wasn't on the same wavelength, and Otamendi can clear. Rangers throwing.
He should have just put that in. Rangers had 3 in the box. I know he's on his left foot, but just put it in on the angle. You never know what can happen a night like tonight. Defender might put his head in front of it, much like Goldson did last week. Just ask the question.
Scott Wright head knocks, so there'll be a bit of stoppage time added on at the end, maybe 2 minutes. About to find out, as that is the 45 minutes up. Just 1 minute has been added, so we're into the first and only minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half of the second leg, and no change from full time in the Portuguese capital last week. 0-0 on the night, 2-2 it is overall, as Lundstrom finds Suter on this near side. Goes back to the Scouser, Lundstrom. He shifts it to the right of the centre circle for Connor Goldson. Goldson's long ball's headed away by Antonio Silva. No quarter given at the moment by either defence. 2 goalkeepers, couple of comfortable enough saves early on, albeit Truban made it look a bit more difficult than it should have been. Other than that, there's been no real dramatic moments of note for either goalkeeper this evening so far. As the long ball comes all the way through, Butland decides he's going to deal with it, for Goldson facing his own goal and heads it out for a throw-in, but he's got to react quickly and run back to his goal line. Quick throw-in by Benfica. Nava Silva gets it back over on the left-hand side, finds Auschness. Good challenge by Tavernier. And then brilliantly done by Scott Wright as well. Rangers have defended really well tonight. Their nerviest moments as the half-time whistle goes have come when they've given it away themselves in the midfield or at the edge of their own box, but nothing between the teams at half-time in the second leg, really. There were those two moments for the goalkeepers relatively early on. Tom Lawrence running in on goal, and his effort looked like a comfy save for Trubin, but he let it squirm through his gloves, through his legs. It could have gone over the goal line and into the net. It went behind for the corner only. And then up the other end, Auschness with an effort which was relatively comfortably saved by Jack Butland. Game's toed and froed, it's ebbed and flowed, but at half-time in the second leg of this Europa League last 16 tie at Ibrox, it is Rangers 0, Benfica 0, and 2-2 it remains on aggregate.
Rangers in the Europa League.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Goalless here at half-time. Rangers against Benfica. You'd have to say, Tom, it's not been a classic. It's actually been a really exciting game to watch. At times, the pace has been frenetic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been... Well, I would kind of counter that by saying it's been interesting. I think maybe not as much goal-mouth action as we'd like to have seen in terms of efforts on goal. Very little for either goalkeeper to do, but it's been fascinating to watch. And I think Rangers have coped after the start that Benfica made. They looked very comfortable and assured in possession. They kept the ball well. They were asking questions. Then Rangers came back and had a long spell in that first half where they had control. Just that final thing. They put a couple of decent balls in. Yilmaz had 2, Tavernier had 1, but nothing really concrete in terms of cutting open this Benfica defence. But they were keeping the ball well. Benfica then came back and obviously had that spell where they were having corners. And I think the biggest thing for Rangers, and Stuart touched on it there, was when Rangers lose the ball and they've overcommitted, Benfica look really dangerous when they go and then counter. They have got real pace in their side. But like Rangers, when they've got into those situations and into those positions, they've been wasteful as well. So yeah, I wonder whether the conditions have got a part to play in it. At the start of the game, the pitch was really fiery, and on occasions like that, it can be difficult. The ball's coming at you, and to get your touch away, you can have loose ones, and you'd expect mistakes from goalkeepers and centre halves. That hasn't really transpired. And then the pitch has actually slowed down with that really heavy rain that we got there just kind of 10 minutes ago, and you're having to put an extra yard on your pass to get it through the surface. So yeah, I mean, it's very evenly poised. It'd be very difficult to call what's going to happen in this second half. I think, you know, that whoever scores the first goal, wouldn't surprise me if we were sitting here in extra time, but whoever scores the first goal, it's going to be so important. But I think Rangers will be pleased. Philippe Clement will be pleased with the first half performance. Just find that wee bit extra quality when you do get into and you have that control possession in the final third.
Yeah, it's not stopped raining all day here, and as Thomas said, at one point towards the end of that first half, it got really heavy. The ground staff are actually out working on the ground at the moment, just trying to fork it and get some of that water draining away. Definitely stuck in the ground towards the end of that first half. The ball at times almost caused a few problems. Both sides have been careless, you'd have to say, when in very good positions. Who have been the players, Tomo, in that Rangers team that have impressed you? I've written down Suit, and I think Diamondi looks a very tidy player as well. Yeah, Diamondi's been decent in the middle of the park, but John Suter for me has been the best player on the pitch. I think the way that he's read the game has been excellent. His distribution has been good. He's nicked in front of Leonardo on 3 or 4 occasions. They're trying to force balls into Leonardo's feet when it's very tight, and he's not really managed to secure possession for Benfica, but John Suter's read those occasions well. He just looks very comfortable out there. I think Dessers hasn't really been involved in the game in terms of 1 or 2 kind of not bad wee kind of first time layoffs and link-ups, but out with that, he's not really had too much of a sniff. A couple of runs that he made, for me, goes far too early and finds himself in an offside position. I think Tom Lawrence has picked up really good areas on the pitch. Stuart mentioned during the commentary in the first half that he'd like to see the ball getting played to him earlier, because there has been occasions when he has found that space in between the defence and the sitting midfielders of Benfica, but the ball hasn't really gone to him quick enough. When he has got it, he's managed to create 1 or 2 kind of half chances.
in that kind of final third area. Silva, yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him involved more in the game. Down this left-hand side, right on the opposite side, you've seen his pace and it can cause problems. But again, as we said before the game, he does something brilliant and then he does something not so well and gives the ball away, and the crowd are very quick to get on his back when he does do that.
Yeah, it's been an interesting, as Thomas said, first half here, stalemate at Ibrox, full second half commentary to come. Rangers, of course, in action in the league on Sunday and on Saturday. 5 games in the top flight, some big games in the Championship. We'll have all the action for you on Sportsound as ever. We'll get reaction to the big games from the pundits, from the managers, and now from the fans.
This is Sportsound.
I've got a heater, I've got layers on. Big Duncan Ferguson standing down there just with I don't know, it's a wee skimpy top on. What's happening with the big fella?
And Livingston have a penalty. Who's taking this one?
Davy Martindale.
I think most Saints fans are very much exactly the same. That they just look at the performances, and the performances are absolutely woeful.
Yes, Leanne, and what I'm saying...
You're arguing with me about something that I actually agree with you.
No, Leanne, no.
If any of you want to start calling me Nostradamus, feel free.
What was your reaction when Kevin Van Veen came on today?
Oh, I'm good. I'm not going to kid on. The point I'm trying to make to you...
No, never mind. Tell me what I said that you have a problem with.
Don't interrupt Wally Miller.
Tell no nonsense from any of them.
All we've heard from Rodgers is we need quality, and all of a sudden in the last few days he seems to be happy to go with what he's got.
Do you know what it is? I'm not having the pom-pom wielding cheerleader.
If I'm a paying customer at this moment in time, I'm not coming back to watch that, I tell you that.
Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland.
Yeah, all that to look forward to on Sportsound at the weekend programmes on Saturday and on Sunday. The rain continues to fall here at Ibrox Park. This game is very finely poised. Rangers 0, Benfica 0. Stuart McCall, your assessment of that first half performance from Philippe Collins' side?
Yeah, pretty even, I thought. I think they looked dangerous on the counter. I think Rangers, they've defended well. But then they've took a little bit of a control of the game. I think it's key to get a few passes and take the sting out of the game at times. But I think in the final third, just been a little bit sloppy with the final ball. Whips some 2 or 3 really good crosses in. But it's looking at the moment that one goal could do it. They'll end up being 3 each. Now, obviously, Ken, I know I've said that, but it's intriguing. I think that's a word. I think, for a 0-0, just bumped into Coisty there, funny enough. And it's exactly the same. He feels for Dessers a bit because it's a hard task up top on your own. But I think as the game goes on, I can see Kemar Roof being introduced soon. But there's also got to think, can he last if he comes on, say, for 20 minutes? Can he then last if it goes to extra time? How many minutes has he got in? And that'll be the same for Cantwell as well. So he's got decisions to make, Philippe, regarding substitutions. But at the minute it's evenly poised and all to play for.
Where do you see him turning to then in terms of the bench, Tomo? Matondo got that electric pace. McCausland has done well at times this season. Cantwell, the manager said yesterday, would play some sort of part. So where do you see him looking in the second half?
It all really depends how the first kind of 10 or 15 minutes go of the second half and what changes he's going to make. But if it stays 0-0 and he's going after the game, then you'll no doubt see Cantwell involved. I think you'll see Roof involved. Don't know how fit McCausland is. McCausland or Matondo on for right on that right hand side, I think would be an obvious change. But yeah, I mean, the obvious change for me is to bring another striker on for Dessers, but he'll give him another 10-15 minutes to see how he does. He's not been involved as much as he would have liked. He's not caused too many problems. But yeah, I mean, like for like, you would probably say right for Matondo. Matondo's got that ball carrying pace that can be so pivotal, and it has been like that when the chances have arisen this evening. It has been from counters when people have turned the ball over and somebody's broken at pace. And Matondo, as much as his final ball can be frustrating, he's excellent at travelling with the ball in those counter-attack situations. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him coming on at some occasion. But as I said, it's really all to do with how these opening 50 minutes of the second half go.
Are these conditions, Tomo, ideal for a striker? The ball holding up makes defenders nervous, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. I think, as a striker, you're always trying to be proactive and expect things to come off of goalkeepers and defenders to take heavy touches, and on evenings like this, then they tend, it's not happened that much, but tend to happen more often than they do on other occasions. But yeah, I mean, I think, in terms of those types of errors, you would have to say that Trubin in the goal for Benfica, he had that one that he leaked, and he's very lucky that it just went the other side of the post. And then he's had a couple when they've been rolled back to him, he's really not looked that composed with. So I think, in this second half, if the ball does go back to the Benfica goalkeeper and you can put a bit of pressure on him and get a squeeze going, then it's something that Rangers should look at, because he doesn't look that comfortable out there.
What have you made of Diamande, Stuart? He's looked very impressive to me. Tonight he's been very solid, but since his arrival at Rangers, he's looked a real prospect.
Yeah, I thought he looked a little bit jaded, if I'm being honest, against Hibs at the weekend, but that's understandable. I think he's come in, and I think, as I said previously, I was hoping Raskin, after hitting the ground running, would really be a strong player for Rangers. Diamande's come in and took that role, and I think probably one of the first names in the team sheet, him and Lundstrom in the middle of the park there. But yeah, been impressed with him. I think he's doing a steady job in there. It can be tough, especially when they're getting counter-attacks on. You've got to get yourself back and get a foot in and get a toe in. I think Rangers have done that really well. Wright did it once, Lawrence did it once. You've got to ask your strikers to do that and get back in. But yeah, overall, Diamande's been solid. Yeah.
What will the message, Stuart, be from Clement and the dressing room down below us right now?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking, if I asked him a question, would he take penalties? I wonder what his answer would be now, because it's such a fine, balanced game at the moment. But Rangers are at home, and I think he'd still say, you know what, I think we can win this. So his message will be, from my message, I'm sure it'll be similar in the fact that take a little bit more care in that final pass. Just make that final pass. If Lawrence is getting in there or Wright's getting in there, Ridvan's putting a couple of decent balls, and just be cautious and careful on the counter attack. But I think Rangers have defended them well at the moment.
Yeah, it could get very nervy here tonight, Tom. It couldn't. You Stuart have experienced that yourself. That feeds down from the stands, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the longer the game goes at 0-0, you're going to feel that from the stands, but you've got to give the supporters in this second half something positive to get right behind you. They will, undoubtedly, and it will ramp up as the game goes on if it stays at 0-0. And then it's about dealing with that pressure on the pitch, just waiting for your opportunity to come, and defensively staying very, very concentrated. I think that's the key thing. They are going to get opportunities, they are going to get counters and turnovers, and it's just about defending. And by and large, Savigny, I think, has done really well on the right hand side. Suter's been excellent, Goldson at times. It's just about making sure that you deal, and they have dealt with it. I don't think Leonardo's really had much of an impact in the game. It's usually a deeper runner, somebody like Rafa Silva or Neres, that's been breaking and causing problems. I wouldn't be surprised to see Benfica make changes in forward areas as well as the game goes on. So yeah, I mean, it's, as Stuart said, it's a very finely balanced game. I wouldn't like to call it right now, and as I said just a few moments ago, whoever gets that first goal, it's going to be really, really vital.
Talk to us, Stuart, about that midfield battle that we watched in the first half. That was the area you excelled, and you loved the cut and thrust in there, didn't you? It's been very, very tight, very, very cagey.
Yeah, it certainly has. I think the key is when Rangers get the ball, Lundstrom keeps cutting, he always drops out to the left-hand side to get on the ball. It leaves a big gap for Diamande to look after. As long as Lundstrom's balls into Lawrence or to Ridvan get looked after, it's when it breaks down, the middle of the park sometimes can be bare. Lundstrom's got to get back in there, but Lawrence has dropped in a couple of times as well. But no, it is a key area of park. I think listen, the way the game's going, Rangers have started having a little bit of possession, and maybe that's going into Benfica's hands because they look dangerous on the break. But as we've said before, up to now, Rangers have defended that well. We might see a different second. Now, I think, it's difficult for Dessers. By the way, I bet he's not had in more than 5 touches.
Yeah.
But he's willing, he's got to stretch the game, which he's trying to do. Otamendi doesn't want to come into the hole with Lawrence and be left 1v1 if Lawrence can get on the turn. So if they keep stretching the game, listen, we played Derby a couple of years ago. Lawrence, it was one of the worst games. Sheffield United down at Derby, 0-0. It had 0-0 wrote all over it. Lawrence scored 2 worldies from 30 yards. He probably only had 5 kicks to the ball, but he's got that ability to...
He's clever, isn't he?
Find the ball on the half turn, 25-30 yards from goal, and he can hit the target. There's no doubt about that. So I'd like to see him get a little bit more of the ball. But all in all, listen, it's been a strong performance, and it's all to play for.
Yeah, it is all to play for. The referee has just come out for the second half here. It's a full Ibrox, as you'd expect. Luke Clement said yesterday, they kind of sold this one several times over. The rain has not relented here, but my goodness, it's not dampened spirit. It's been an electric atmosphere inside this stadium this evening. The stakes are huge, of course. A place in the quarter-finals of the Europa League. The Rangers players come out the tunnel down below as your Diamandi comes out, Wright comes out, Silva comes out, Lundstrom. All the players are out now, followed by the Benfica players. So the stakes are very, very high here in the second half. I know there will be changes. I can see certainly a Benfica substitution about to happen. Liam will bring that too. So let's get back then to our commentary team. Will it be Rangers? Will it be Benfica that win the evening here at Ibrox Park? We shall find out now with Stephen Thompson, Stuart McCall and Liam McLeod.
Well, it's the Arsenal target, alleged Arsenal target, Marcus Leonardo, who's been replaced for the start of the second half with the Dane Kasper Tengstedt coming on to lead the line in the second half. He was the one who was coming in for some serious criticism off the back of their 5-0 humbling in Porto a week past Sunday's. Benfica kick off the second half, right to left in the red and white. Rangers in the blue and white will shoot towards the Copeland Road end of Ibrox, as they tend to do in the second half of matches here. Last time Benfica were in town, it was 2-2. Rangers both times in that group surrendered 2-goal leads. It was 2-0 here, then to settle for a 2-each draw. Ended up winning that group in any case, as the header comes all the way back to Truben, the Benfica goalkeeper. So no changes for Rangers at the start of the second half. Butland in goal. Taverniers are booking away from missing their next European game. Goldson, Shooter and Yilmaz. Diamandi, Lundstrom, Wright, Lawrence, Fabio Silva and Dessers leading the line. As I said, Kasper Tengstedt, the former Danish under-21 international, comes on. Just a crowd of 49,943 is the official attendance here as Rangers come down the left there with Tom Lawrence, which they have segregated some seats off, which is why it's under 50,000. Fabio Silva chases it towards the byline, can't keep it in play, and it will be a goal kick to Benfica. It could be a long night, could be extra time, could be penalties. We shall wait and see. We are just into the second minute of the second half here, and nothing between the sides. Rangers have this incredibly impressive record right now in this competition. It's Goldson makes the long ball from Truben all the way through to Jack Butland. Rangers have only lost 2 of the last 17 games in the tournament here in Glasgow. Benfica, recently Champions League quarter-finalists in back-to-back seasons, knocked out in the group stage this term. As Lundstrom picks up in the centre circle and shifts it towards Yilmaz. Ba comes to meet him. Yilmaz tries to win it back. Loose ball. Yilmaz has done well. Diamandi sweeps it to Wright, who's driving forward. Really good run from Wright up to the edge of the box. Forces it through. Dessers onto the right foot. Shoots. Deflected wide. Wow, what a chance that was. Sculpted by Scott Wright. He found Dessers. It just seemed to take an age to get the shot away, and eventually when he did, it's deflected past the left-hand post, and Rangers have to settle for the corner. What a chance it was.
Brilliant by Scott Wright, absolutely outstanding. Took the ball in a half turn, slid Dessers, took a wee bit longer, but it was on target, it was going in.
The defender's touch was so crucial for Benfica. As Yilmaz takes it out, swinging corner from the left, into the box it comes. Headed half away, Lundstrom at the edge of the box, lets fly. It's wide of the right-hand post though, and it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 0. But Stephen Thompson, a really positive start to the second half by Rangers.
It is, and that's the best chance that they've had in the game so far. As Stuart says, the way that Scott Wright received the ball on the half-turn, opened up his body so he could go forward with it, was brilliant. Used his pace. Hold on.
There's a chance Benfica on the counter. Neres to Rafa Silva, left of the Rangers box, skipping in field, looking for an option. He elects to shift it back to Florentino. He shimmies away from Lawrence, turns it back right to the centre circle. Antonio Silva out to that right hand side for Ba. forward to Tengstedt, who's just on right hand side of the box in front of the Benfica supporters. Suter comes to marshal him as it's shifted back the way to Ba, now in field for Di Maria. Di Maria back out to Ba on that right hand side, faced by Fabio Silva, finds Angel Di Maria. Yilmaz for company. And at walking pace at the moment, back with Florentino and then to Di Maria again. The rain getting heavier once more. It's out with Ba, rolls it right hand side of the box. Silva back to Ba into the penalty area. It drops, but it's Butland's ball. Benfica just lost control of it right hand side of the penalty area. And it's Rangers possession again with Tavernier dinking it forward to right on this near side. Showed a little bit too much of it to Jajawa Neves, and it's picked up here by Auschness in field for Neres. Now it's with Rafa Silva. Neres continues his run, driving forward. Tavernier's the covering player, and he rolls it back to his keeper. And it's Butland who has it under control and under no pressure either. Goalless.
Yeah, going back to that opportunity when Scott Wright played in Dessers, he let it come across his body, and I felt as though that's when he should have pulled the trigger. He decides to cut back inside, and then it allowed the defender to set and get the block in.
Lundstrom has it, left of the centre circle for Rangers, back to Connor Goldson.
Dez does do that a lot, doesn't he, Tom? You'll see him enough chop,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he had let it roll across his body really well, just to go and drive and put his foot through it.
Yeah, it hits it earlier, hits it low into that bottom left corner. The keeper's possibly unsighted as well through the ruck of bodies, but took that extra couple of touches.
Yeah, having said that, Liam, I have seen him check and put it in the bottom corner once. But he did it, so it's always find it hard to criticise because he has got it in his locker.
He does.
A number of times he should get a shot off.
Top scorer in the Conference League a couple of seasons ago with Feyenoord when they got into the final before losing to Roma. Here's the top scorer in the Europa League that season, James Tavernier, down the right, gets his cross ball in. There's a Rangers player down in the box. It's gone behind off the defender for a corner. Dessers is claiming he had his jersey pulled, and that's what forced him to go to ground. The guys will get a replay of it here. Rangers have to settle for the corner at the moment.
Well, I can tell you one thing, the quality of the ball in is absolutely brilliant, but for me, Dessers has got to be stronger. I don't see a foul there at all.
Get across the defender and go attack the ball, don't stay on your heels. But again, another terrific ball in the box. This worries me at the back on the counter-attack. Here they see nobody.
They've got nobody back at all. The most withdrawn players, Lundstrom and Yilmaz, the 18-yard line. In comes the corner. It's a bullet header away. Comes back out to Tavernier on the near side. Gets under control. Loops the cross in towards the back post. The header into the side net. I think it had swung over the byline anyway. Suter did meet it. He put it wide in any case. And it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 0 and 2-2. An aggregate. Suter's absolutely flattened Frederick Auschness at the back post there as well.
They both ended up in the advertising boards.
Yeah.
Just to go back to the corner, Liam, there, Brentford do this down in the English Premiership, but when he was fit, they had Rico Henry doing it like 25 yards from the goal. Now he's got lightning pace. We've got John Lundstrom doing it, and that would worry me, you know, on the counter attack. But they're being brave because they're putting extra bodies in the box from the corner.
Well, it may pay dividends at some point between now and the close of business. Can Rangers find themselves in tomorrow's Europa League quarter-final draw for the second time in 3 seasons? Here is Lundstrom. They're out to Yilmaz on the left, just inside his own half, into the pocket of space in the centre circle. Diamonde. A misunderstanding with Lawrence, who was caught. Free kick Rangers, just the right of the centre circle. There's Diamonde finding Tavernier, looking to fire it through to right. He's in behind Auschness. He's not a natural defender. Right is to slide in, hoping he can emerge with a corner. A goal kick's been awarded though. Otamendi with a thumbs up to the officials for the decision. And it remains Rangers 0, Benfica 0.
To be fair, Otamendi's read it well. It's a good run by Wright in behind the full back. Good ball by Tavernier, but Otamendi's experience came into play now.
He's had a glittering career. Otamendi's won this tournament a couple of times. Notably in Portugal, not with Benfica, but he's been around, been at Porto, and the guy's getting a chance to see a replay of Dessers in the box there. The referee didn't think too much of it. It came bouncing off Antonio Silva and behind for the corner. And away from Dessers, who was in the right position. And that's cleared by Truven. distinct ball forward, but weak in the challengers Neres, and it emerges with Wright to Diamonde. Now it's with Scott Wright again, driving forward outside of the boot, flick for Dessers in the box, back to Diamonde, bends it for goal. It's right down the throat of the keeper though, who holds on. We heard the ball slapping into his gloves, I'm sure, in the background there, and it remains 0-0.
It's another effort and goal from Rangers. Scott Wright again involved, plays a lovely wee pass to Dessers, lays it off first time, but Diamonde takes a shot on. He's never going to score for him there. You know, very difficult angle. He manages to get it on target, but it was always going to be comfortable for Trubin in goals.
Rangers have a throw in here with Tavernier. Almost 54 minutes in, Rangers still closing in on 60% possession, sitting at 58 at the moment on the dial as Goldson squares it to Suter. Inside his own half, left in the circle, he finds Lundstrom. Now Goldson, short ball out to Tavernier on this near side. He's turning away from his man, chipping it forward, but Otamendi's there to get there ahead of Dessers. Now Rafa Silva getting goal side of Goldson, driving forward, and then heavy touch, but the ref thinks he was fouled there. Goldson doing the fouling, and I think he's going to be booked here, the Rangers number 6. And Benfica have a free kick, a full 30 yards from goal here, slightly left the centre. In conditions like this, you never know.
Yeah, and he's just so quick as Rafa Silva. He got the half turn away from Goldson. He doesn't really get a lot of the shot. He attempts to pull the shot, and maybe that's why he's been booked for the act of attempting it. He does have his hand on his shot at one stage. He lets it go, but I think a foul's probably justified.
First yellow card of the evening. Benfica have a free kick. Doesn't look like they're going for goal at the moment. Di Maria setting up on the left foot here.
Well, in these conditions, Liam, you would. If you try to skip it in before the keeper and skips up on him, it'll be a difficult one to handle. Having said that, what is it?
30 at least.
It's about 30, isn't it?
At least 30,
yeah. Joao Neves is there as well, alongside Di Maria. Florentino is coming over to have a word too.
It's a long way out.
Jack Butland standing centre of his goal, just off his line.
Side of this wall, watch his side of this wall.
It's a two-man Rangers wall here, and Rafa Silva's peeled off it. It's played back heel to Di Maria towards the back post, missed by Tynestedt. Gets a second chance, crosses in, headed away by Yilmaz, breaks to the edge of the box, scuffed effort by Joao Neves. The flag was up for offside over there. Wright was fouled, but the whistle had just gone, just as Wright was clipped, and the referee noticed the flag over there. And that will be a free kick to Rangers, but Fabio Silva has to be a little bit careful there, because Tynestedt just peeled away from him, having missed it initially. Fabio Silva had a little feel of the jersey there, a little fistful of the shirt for just a split second.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very good ball in, a well-worked free kick, and the initial ball was misjudged almost by Silva. Tynestedt probably should do slightly better with it, and you're right, there was a kind of motion to grab the jersey, but I don't think there was enough in it.
Tavernier up the line for Lawrence. Lovely flick from Lawrence away from Otamendi, but it's well read by Joao Neves. He wins it back for Benfica. Now it's out with Auschness on this near side. Dinked chip ball forward with the right. Lundstrom will get onto it though, and he just nudges it back to his keeper. Tynestedt coming to put the pressure on Butland, who plays it short to the right of the box for Goldson. And now back with Jack Butland.
Really good movement by Lawrence. Instead of staying in the 10 position, he came out wide. Tavernier found him with a good ball. Just unfortunate, he loved him, and then just got the ball taken off him.
Beginning to see the best of Tom Lawrence just now. Stuart, he's obviously had his year out with injury.
Yeah, listen, I think it'd have been it was a terrific signing. It's just been unfortunate with injuries. And he's actually, coming to Sheffield United's training camp in the summer, and he went up north instead. And phoned to say sorry, but I've joined the Glasgow Rangers, so it's fair enough. We'll hold it against your son.
That's probably the one club that you would have let him off for.
Yeah, and Suter was the same.
Well, there you go. As Diamonde moves it back to Goldson. And now with Suter, of course, Stewart and Paul Heckingbottom until recently were in charge of things at Bramall Lane, as Fabio Silva charges down the left-hand side of the Benfica box. Lovely run into the area. He's won the corner as well, as he know. The referee thinks it's come off him last. And that will be a goal kick. Difficult for us to argue with that, given it's happened up the other end of the pitch. We're just to the left of the halfway line here. It's up the other end.
Positive from Silva, getting to the byline. Gets it, it does. It comes back off the defender and clips his foot.
What was good to see though, Tomo, because he's been in front of us for the first half. He's normally been checking back on his right foot. At least he took the ball, was positive and drove to the dead ball line. That was excellent.
Yeah, no sign of Tom Lawrence in the Wales squad for their matches against Finland and Poland coming up. Robert Page obviously been suitably impressed, similar to Gareth Southgate with Jack Butland, as Trubin, the Ukraine goalkeeper, smashes it forward into the Rangers half, top of the head of Tavernier out to this near side for Wright, who knocks it off Neres, and out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. We're creeping ever closer to the hour mark at Ibrox. No goals. The aggregate scoreline remains 2-2 from last week's absorbing first leg in Portugal. Misjudged here by Auschnitz. Dessers has it down the right hand side, level with the Benfica penalty spot, turns it infield to the right angle for Lawrence. Pass cut out by João Neves. Now it's with Neres coming away with it, the Brazilian. Early ball forward to Tengsted, sliding in Golson to ensure it doesn't come through to the Danish forward, and it's Suter rolling it into the centre circle for Diamonde. Now it's Yilmaz, tie to be won here by these sides. As Yilmaz comes down the left, looks up, this cross cut out by Florentino and out for a Rangers throw-in, level with the Benfica 18 over on that far side. Ball back, Yilmaz to Diamonde, looks up, it's the cross in, and it's way too deep. And it beats everyone, both sides, and behind for the goal kick. And it's Rangers 0, Benfica 0. We are almost bang on the hour mark here in Glasgow.
Yeah, maybe that's why Diamonde didn't put that cross in the first half. Yeah, getting that one all wrong, but it's so finely poised, it really is.
Ball is battered forward by Benfica over on that right hand side. Alexander Bahn to the Rangers half, picked up by Lundstrom. Lovely little shimmy away from Rafa Silva on the halfway line, turns it to the right of the centre circle for Lawrence. He's got right out to the near side. Now it's Scott Wright in possession, right hand side of the box facing Auschnitz, plays it back to the edge of the area for Lawrence, shows too much of it to Florentino though, and now Neres is away on the counter for the visitors. Rolled forward there to the right hand side for Angel Di Maria. He's now just outside the box, shapes to shoot, it's blocked by Yilmaz, back to Di Maria, it's blocked again, and Tavernier's there to clear. Remains 0-0, but it's Ba picking up the scraps on the right for Benfica. Dreadful cross, as bad as Diamonde's was a minute ago, and it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 0. Di Maria of 10 years ago is bursting forward into the box and taking that on himself, I'm sure.
Yeah, it comes from the counter-attack on range, and I think Scott Wright should have gone on the outside. He's played the ball into Lawrence. Lawrence got 2 or 3 people around him on difficult conditions. Should have drove down to the dead ball line and put a cross in.
Tavernier with the ball, he's found Fabio Silva. It was because it was missed by Florentino in the midfield. Silva has it on the left to the edge of the centre circle. Lawrence, misunderstanding with Wright, who'd cut infield. Lawrence played it out wide. Wright would have been better served staying. He was out to play for a throw in. The Rangers manager down there, Philippe Clement, with a big coat on against the elements, plucking the ball out of the sky quickly and giving it back to his team to get play raging again. And it's on the left of the centre circle there with Suter, and Rangers have clocked up the 60% ball possession now. It's with Tavernier on this near side, moving it back to Golson, then to the left hand side Suter, then short ball to Lundstrom. Rangers slowing the build up at this point. Neres coming to face Golson, who rolls it into the centre circle for Lundstrom, and then out to the left hand side again on the halfway line for Suter. He flicks it with the right foot, lovely ball. He's having some game. Here's Yilmaz down the left, showed a little bit too much of it to Ba, and the referee gives Rangers the corner.
Yeah, pass out from Suter yet again. His distribution tonight's been faultless to Yilmaz, takes his touch, tries to go to the byline and get the ball in. They've taken it short.
Diamonde, they've given it away though. That's ended up being a poor decision. Di Maria's away in the counter. Diamonde trying to get a feel of his shirt there to take the foul and the yellow card for the team on that occasion. He's all over Di Maria, who still has it. Di Maria up to the midway point of the Rangers half, finds Neres. Auschnitz to his left, that's where it goes. Auschnitz pulls it back, and the shot straight at Butland. What a chance of the game, real opportunity for Benfica. And the goalkeeper Butland holds on to Tengsted's effort either side, and Rangers are behind. It stays 0-0 on 63, but that is a major let-off for Rangers, and it all stemmed from their own corner up the other end.
It's exactly what Stuart's been talking about the whole game, the worry that he's had with Rangers not having a defensive cover. in the counter-attack, and actually they probably should have ended up doing better than they did with it.
Yeah, Diamandi's got to take a yellow card. He's got to take him down on the halfway line. I mean, that should be a goal. Thankfully the boy never connected as well, but decent from Butland, but right into his hands.
If you're going to play that risk and reward tactic from the corner, you've got to get the corner right, and they didn't, and they almost paid a heavy duty price there. Benfica are going to make a change in a moment. The Turkey international Orkan Kukçu is going to come on at the next break in play. By the looks of things, Suter looks for Yilmaz. The first time he's been off target, though. Difficult one for Yilmaz to deal with. It goes out for a throw-in, and Yilmaz's compatriot Kukçu, who is Benfica's record signing. He arrived from Feyenoord in the summer, helped Feyenoord to the Dutch Eredivisie title last season. He is a dangerous player. He was on the score sheet against Estoril on Sunday, and he comes on to replace the Brazilian David Neres, who again hasn't really impressed tonight.
No, he's not, Liam. You know, I was expecting bigger things from him. He's got a big reputation, but Rangers have done well to keep him quiet this evening.
Benfica giving it away. Here's right central area, rolling it to the edge of the box for Dessers. The challenge from Otamendi. Lawrence trying to help Dessers out. Benfica been up in the way to dig it away. And it's Lundstrom passing it back onto the halfway line. That's a really important block there by Yilmaz, because that almost came through to Di Maria. On the left-hand side, Fabio Silva. He was surely fouled by Ba. The referee, I think, in fairness, is trying to allow Rangers an advantage, which they're still continuing to enjoy. Lawrence's pass forwards cut out, breaks out to this near side, and Tavernier keeps it in play on the Rangers' right and turns it back into his own half for Goldson. Almost on 65, it's still 0-0. And of course, with every second that ticks away, the higher pressure, the bigger the pressure cooker atmosphere, the players will be feeling it, because the stakes are so high. These two clubs try and prolong their European seasons. Long ball, Lundstrom out to Tavernier, wide right-hand side, plays it off Ausnesson behind for the corner. Rangers corner here, 25 of the 90 to play. Tavernier trying to whip up the Rangers fans.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball from John Lundstrom, essentially out to this right-hand side. Tavernier takes his touch, and Ausnes just gets a wee nick on it, but another big opportunity. Just watch the counter.
Again, everyone, apart from Jack Butland, is south of the D of the Benfica box. Tavernier to take, deep corner towards Goldson. It's the header back into the area. Chance here on the turn potentially for Dessers. It just evades him though, and Benfica are away in the counter-attack. Important moment coming up here. Di Maria's flicked it forward. Opportunity for Benfica. Rafa Silva's in, and he scores! Rafa Silva smashes home, but the flag goes up, but the Benfica supporter celebrations have to end now. Rafa Silva got onto the Di Maria header, and he's gone a bit too early, and it stays 0-0 for now.
Oh, he's in his own half, I think, Liam. It's very tight.
I think he's in his own half here. Rafa Silva drove in and goal, in on Butland, and hammered it home into the left corner of the net. And this is going to be a nervy wait for Rangers. But
well, the thing is, Liam, it comes when we've just spoken about it 2 minutes before with the warning where they should have scored and should have done better. It's exactly the same scenario. The corner breaks.
They're checking it.
Yeah, of course they're checking it. The corner breaks. They're brilliant in the counter-attack, and you know, you've got to say, if this is a goal, you know, Rangers have been warned umpteen times, Stuart.
I just, you're saying it all game since the first corner came in. The counter-attack is especially from the corner. We've every 25 yards from goal, any break, and they've seen it, and they break straight away. The corner comes in, two men on the edge ready to break away. I mean, it looks as though he's possibly in his own half, but maybe his knee. You know, you go fine lines. We're not on the line.
He's in his own half.
His foot's on his own half, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think
his leg. Listen, he's standing on that, but you know how goals are like now, Liam. If a part of your body, I don't know if your knee's over. Is that the same as a goal?
Yeah, it would be, but I'm not sure if his knee was over.
Certainly, his foot's certainly in his own half, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, we're able to see replays here in front of us. This is a nervy wait for the Rangers supporters. The referee, Van Kruijsliat, the Slovakian, is in dialogue with his video assistant, who is just firming this up or not. Benfica, are they about to strike the first blow of this second leg and lead this tie for the first time? Twice Rangers led in Lisbon last week. They were warned just a couple of minutes before from their own corner. They haven't heeded the warning, Rafa Silva is Benfica's top scorer this season with 17. It's so difficult to tell on that replay that we're seeing, the halfway line. Di Maria's header, it looks like he's onside here because he's in his own half.
He's onside for me.
Here we go. Goal's given. Benfica lead at Ibrox. And the celebrations begin again. Rafa Silva's 18th of the season breaks Rangers' hearts here. Just as the second leg was going into its final quarter, Di Maria with a little header, Rafa Silva bursting on goal, still had lots to do, and he rifled it past Butland into the left corner of the net, and it's Rangers 0, Benfica 1, and 3-2 to the Portuguese champions in aggregate.
All night Benfica have looked really, really dangerous on the counter-attack, and all night they've not really made the most of the opportunities that they've had. Rangers have had control in this second half, they've had the possession, if you've spoken about Liam, but they haven't created the big chances in the game. On this occasion it was by far the best chance in a match, and once Rafa Silva is away, you are not catching him. He finishes it brilliantly, and Rangers have got 20 minutes to rescue this game. I'd imagine we'll see some substitutes very shortly.
First time they've been behind in the tie. It is Yilmaz on the left. They need some of that Europa League magic that has so often come to their aid in this tournament, especially here at Ibrox. And it is Benfica who lead, and they are in possession on the right hand side. How do Rangers react to that blow? And it is a hammer blow. And actually it's a brilliant finish from Rafa Silva, as Di Maria picks up for Benfica. An advantage given. Here's Auschness. Kukçu to his left. Orkun Kukçu, left hand side of the box, a delicate cross ball. Away by Goldson. Wright completes the clearance. Rangers cannot afford to concede again. Auschness on this near side, rolls it back the way to Florentino. Auschness picks up to Kukçu. Back down the line to Florentino, he dinks it into the centre circle. It's picked up here by Antonio Silva, who finds Otamendi, and now Auschness. Stewart Rangers, they were warned just about literally less than 2 minutes before Rafa Silva's rifled Benfica into the lead. Both those chances came from a Rangers corner.
Liam, I said from the first corner, it worried me. It's a risk and reward situation. But the thing was, there was more chance of Benfica scoring from a Rangers corner than Rangers, where they were countering on the break, and unfortunately that's what's come back to bite them. But it's how they react now. The supporters have reacted well. Let's see how well the players can react.
Lundstrom for Rangers finds Tavernier. It wouldn't be a Europa League night at Ibrox without some drama. As Wright picks up and finds Lundstrom back to Tavernier, who rolls it infield to Goldson. Now Diamonde in the centre circle to Suter. Suter finds Lundstrom, and then out to the right of the circle for Goldson. Out to Tavernier on this near side. Tavernier moving infield, side football to Suter. Benfica looking to hold their lines, they don't need to score again, clean sheet and they're through. Suter finds Lundstrom. Rangers still have time to operate with here. Almost on 72. A lazy looking touch there by Fabio Silva on the far side, and Benfica clear up towards Tengstedt, who it was at that glorious chance before the goal went in, as Dessers picks up for Rangers to Lawrence at the edge of the box. His shot from distance is cut out. Breaks to Diamonde, flicking it to Fabio Silva. Now Yilmaz in the overlap down the left hand side. It's a heavy touch though, and he puts it behind for the goal kick, and it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 1.
One of the Rangers' big problems this evening has been creating those big opportunities. They've not really managed to test through winning goals. They're going to make a sub now. It looks like Matondo, Liam.
For Wright. That's the change, Stuart McCall.
Yeah.
And Cantwell's coming on as well, just back from injury.
Yeah, we'll see Cantwell for Lawrence, is it? Yeah, Lawrence normally comes off a bit this time. He's run his race. If Cantwell can get the opportunities or pick the ball up in the same area as Lawrence has. That was unfortunate. Good play by Diamonde. Dessa laid back, and Lawrence had a good strike, defended well, but yeah, fresh legs on, hopefully can make a big impact.
Yeah, it's like for like. No change to the system.
Yeah, it looked as though Todd Cantwell was hitting some form before the injury struck. Missed the last few weeks. He's back and resumed training the last few days. Goldson firing it out towards Rabbi Matondo on this near side. That's gone out over the line though. That will be a throw into Benfica on this near side. Rangers looking a little bit dazed, a little bit woozy after conceding the goal there, as they try and dust themselves down for a potential comeback. Just the one goal behind. Difficult, not impossible for them here. Been in big holes in Europe in the past and dug themselves out of them as Yilmaz comes forward. Rolls it with the right foot low along the grass out to Fabio Silva. Infield to Cantwell. First you'll feel the ball. In comes the cross, headed away by Otamendi. Lundstram has to win it against Di Maria and does, and turns it back to Suter. Suter level with the edge of the centre circle in his own half, flicks it to his central defensive colleague Goldson. Forward to Tavernier. First time Diamonde just outside the circle. Back to Goldson. Now Lundstram. Into the left for Suter. There's been no real concerted pressure on the Benfica box for Rangers in recent times. As Cantwell goes down, he's not getting a free kick, and Rafa Silva instead fires it out to Di Maria on the right. Benfica looking to hit the counter here, and suddenly it might be 3-on-2. Forward to Rafa Silva, he's inside the penalty area, taking on Goldson. Forced out wide. Back to Di Maria, level with the edge of the Rangers box. He has it on the left foot, using Ba as a decoy. Di Maria to the right for Rafa Silva. Comes back the way to Florentino, infield to Joao Neves. Then Florentino, Rangers doing a decent job of forcing Benfica back, but then Benfica don't have to force the issue. Poor header away by Yilmaz, straight to Tengsted. It is Rafa Silva to Di Maria, taking on Diamonde. Tripped by Diamonde was no, the ref says the ball was taken. Di Maria is sitting down with his arms outstretched, looking for a free kick that isn't coming. Rangers get it away up towards Dessers, can't get onto it. Antonio Silva back to his goalkeeper. Trubin finds Otamendi at close quarters. We're in the final quarter of an hour here at Ibrox. Rangers 0, Benfica 1 and 3-2. The Portuguese lead in aggregate. Otamendi pushing the ball into midfield for Orkun Kukcu. Fouled by Lundstram, free kick Benfica. And now it's knocked forward to Rafa Silva. Out to this near side for Auschnes. Skipping in field, taking Matondo with him, rolling it with the instep to Di Maria. Over on the right, infield, inside channel for Kukcu. It's away from Cantwell, taking on Yilmaz and winning the corner for Benfica. It's the most comfortable Benfica have looked all evening, in fact over the two legs arguably. And it's understandable because they've got this tie in the palm of the hand now. Rangers going to bring on Kemar Roof.
Yeah, they're really comfortable at this minute in time. Rangers not asking the questions that need to be asked with 15 minutes to go. Roof, I'm sure, will come on for Dessers after this corner.
Yeah, we've had a preview of that now as well, so it will be Dessers to come off, the number 9 on the board, but they're going to wait until after this corner. Defensive teams would normally wait until after the set play, and it comes. Header away is decisive from Suter. Joao Neves with the header back out wide, but that's going to go out for a Rangers throw-in. And now Philippe Clement will make the change, and Dessers will be withdrawn and replaced by Kemar Roof. Stuart McCall, who's partial to some European heroics himself, most recently in Seville against Betis.
Yeah, exactly so, and Rangers supporters will be hoping he can produce a bit of magic up top there, but yeah, it was a tough night for Dessers, and Roof's on and hopefully can make a big impact.
Had his big chance, didn't he, Dessers? He had that chance early in the second half, which he couldn't take, and didn't get another look at Trubin's goal after that. Not really. Lundstram collects for Rangers, 13 to play. Forward to Cantwell, first time can't find Roof, cleared by Antonio Silva, and it's all the way back with Butland. Antonio Silva just looks like a Rolls Royce for Benfica. Joao Neves as well as one of the other extremely highly rated Benfica players, and you can tell by looking at them why some of the big clubs in England and further away in Europe are keeping their eyes on those two. Here is Joao Neves, and he rolls it to the outside of the boot out to the overlapping Ba. Di Maria in support. He just shifts it back the way to Joao Neves and into his own half for Antonio Silva, but Rangers are going to have to do something to stem the flow here, because Benfica popping it around. They have the lead, they know Rangers don't have the ball, they can't hurt them. It means it will be Benfica through to the last 8, draw tomorrow. As Lundstrom picks up left of the centre circle. Now he's found Goldson. He'll turn it out to Tavernier wide on this right hand side. It's a long ball looking for Matondo. Underneath it is Auchness though. Here's Kuchu. Short ball in field to João Neves, flicking it forward, and Tengstedt picks up in the halfway line and rolls it out to this near side for Rafa Silva, the goal scorer. Looking for Di Maria with a switch. Cushion header by Yilmaz. Lundstrom does well, gets away from his man and fires it forward. It's not a great ball though. Antonio Silva, I think, might have got a little flick onto it.
Just beginning to force things, Liam. Just beginning to force it. A wee bit of desperation creeping into Rangers. Lundstrom had time, had space, could have played it wide to either Matondo or Silva's trying to play that killer pass.
The difference is it's twice it's gone into Rangers, it's gone to Campbell, it's flicked it round the corner. Matondo's done the same. The boy who's just come on for them, Tengstedt, twice it's gone into him, he's looked after it, played his midfield players, stuck again, there you go.
Yeah, there's a little ball over the top here for Auchness to give chase. He's in behind Tavernier momentarily, he hits it with the outside of the right boot, and Di Maria with the left puts it wide. Flag's gone up belatedly anyway, and it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 1, and 3-2 to the Portuguese champions overall.
To give yourself a chance of getting up the park, your front men or your midfield men have got to look after the ball, control it. The big boys come on for them, has done it well 3 times now.
Lundstrom for Rangers, out to Yilmaz on the left hand side. Rangers began this tie so promisingly, going ahead in Lisbon 7 minutes into the first leg through that Tom Lawrence header. A lot's happened since then. The Goldson own goal last week proving so costly right now, as well as that Rafa Silva finish give Benfica the lead. Here come Rangers with Matondo, but his cross is dreadful as he falls to the ground, and it sails high over the crossbar. And with 10 minutes of the 90 to play, it's Rangers 0, Benfica 1, live here on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland, on digital and online.
It opened up well for Matondo. We know how quick he is and direct he is. He needs the game in front of him. He did the right thing to try and take the full back on, knocks it past him, but as we've seen on so many occasions, his final action isn't good enough.
Championship action for you tomorrow night on the telly, BBC Scotland channel. Dunfermline against Dundee United. Saturday, full card just about, apart from the games that have been shifted for telly, including Celtic St Johnstone on Saturday, Dundee Rangers on Sunday, and then the international break with the Netherlands up against Scotland in Amsterdam a week tomorrow. The following Tuesday, Scotland, Northern Ireland live on the radio and TV across BBC Scotland. Here it's the Europa League last 16, and Rangers' hopes of progression are hanging by a thread here. 1-0 down in the night and 3-2 on aggregate. It's Matondo to Cantwell on this near side. His pass forwards cut out. It's been very easy for Benfica to defend all of a sudden, and now Tengstedt has it on the left. 4 in red shirts in the attacking third here. Infield to Rafa Silva, turns it out to Di Maria on that right hand side of the penalty area. Shifts it to Ba, takes a touch at the edge of the box and forces a really good save out of Jack Butland, who turns it past the left-hand post for a corner. It stays 1-0 to the visitors.
Yeah, it's a terrific save, there's no doubt about that. Comes into the edge of the box, he finds the corner. Oh, it's an outstanding save by Butland. But that comes from Rangers giving the ball away cheaply again. Campbell's come on, he's had 3 or 4 flicks at it, he's given it away cheaply. He's got to look after the ball far better than he's doing at the moment and give chance to Rangers to get up the park.
It's a clever effort from Alexander Ba. He knew that Suter was blocking the keeper. He tried to arch it towards that right-hand corner. Butland reacted superbly well, but it is to the concession of this Benfica corner, which will be taken by Kukçu right in front of the visiting fans. Into the box it comes. Oh, what a chance for Antonio Silva to put this tie to bed, and he knows it. He puts it wide, he sclaps it past from the corner, and it stays Rangers 0, Benfica 1. That would have been tie over right there and then.
Should have been game over, Liam. And when you think about it, the big chances have all come for Benfica in this second half.
Here come Rangers though with Matondo midway inside the Benfica half, slipping it out to the left-hand side. Clever ball. Fabio Silva level with the penalty spot, taking on Ba. He's inside the area now. Onto the right foot, gets the cross in off the defender. Rangers corner. It's not done yet. This tie is not done yet.
It was a huge let-off from the corner just at the other end there. You really have to say Antonio Silva, he sees it late, but he's 4 yards out. Any type of contact and it's a goal, but Rangers with the opportunity here. Outswing up
from Yilmaz over on that left hand side. Rangers attacking the Copeland Road end. It's not a great delivery, and it's easily away by Joao Neves at the near post. Yilmaz hoping it'll bounce out for a throw, and I think it's still in play, and he's been pickpocketed as well. And Benfica come away in the counter here. Di Maria from Kukcu. Long ball, looking for Rafa Silva. Tavernier's the covering player for Rangers. He gets onto it, and it's going to go out for a Benfica throw-in down on this near side in front of their manager Roger Schmidt, who will feel the pressure easing should his team successfully navigate their way through the closing stages of this one. The win over Estoril on Sunday took away some of the pressure he'd been coming under, despite being just 1 point off the leaders, their neighbour Sporting. 3 without a win. It's not good enough for Benfica. It wouldn't be good enough for Rangers or Celtic in this country. And it comes back to Otamendi, who squares it to Antonio Silva midway inside his own half. 84 on the clock. 3-2 Benfica in aggregate. It's out on that left-hand side with Angel Di Maria. He's done brilliantly well, shifts it to Florentino, he dinks it forward for Rafa Silva. It's Suter who gets there first, he's claiming goal kick, the referee agrees, and Rafa Silva's protested that. There's a corner falling deaf ears, and Ivan Krušlja at the referee. A short ball by Butland to Goldson, the Rangers supporters trying to raise their team for a big final push here to try and at least force extra time. Yilmaz for Cantwell. Out to the left for Silva, but it's gone past Silva and out for a throw-in on the far side. Rangers look tired right now.
Yeah, Cantwell's had a bit of a difficult time since coming onto the pitch. That was a 10-yard pass. Misplaces it. Final throw of the dice really coming up from Rangers. Raskin coming on just to try and bring a bit more energy as we go into the last 8 or 9 minutes of the match with injury time.
Diamondi off, Raskin on. Clement looking for his countrymen to try and turn the tide here in the driving rain in Glasgow. Lundstrom with a fresh air swipe on the far side. Rafa Silva wins the throw-in off Goldson beyond the midway point of the Rangers half over on that far side, the Benfica right.
There just hasn't been a reaction since the goal from Benfica, and you were waiting on it, and you know, I have to say I think that Benfica have managed the game brilliantly since then, but Rangers are just waiting for them to react, waiting for more quality, more opportunities. It hasn't come.
Throwing down the line for Tengsted, he turns it back up the way to Alexander Ba, now it's through to Di Maria, who's offside, and there will be a free kick to Rangers. 1-0 Benfica. Stuart McCall going into the final 4 minutes of the 90 here at Ibrox.
Listen, I think the manager will be deeply disappointed in the 3 substitutes he's brought on for an impact. Campbell's give it away nearly every time he's got it. Roof's not had a kick, and Matondo's had 1 kick and he put it in the stand. So, as we said, when you bring your substitutes on, you want them to have a positive impact. At the moment they haven't, but there's still time.
Raskin forward to Fabio Silva, gets it under control, wide on the left-hand side. It's the overlap from Yilmaz, looks up, early delivery, Roof's in there, couldn't quite get enough onto it, headed away, only as far as Tavernier. Lundstrom at the edge of the box, doesn't catch the right foot shot, and it's a comfortable save for Trubin. Shot was on target though, 86.5 on the clock. Rangers 0, Benfica 1.
The first ball in from Yilmaz is absolutely perfect. Roof just can't get there. It breaks to Lundstrom at the edge of the box. He did not catch it, sure.
No, only for a Mark Haitley or a Stephen Thompson. We've got some fantastic balls have gone in tonight. Just nobody there on the end of it to go and attack the ball. Having said that, the 2 centre-half they've defended really well for them.
You have to say that, yeah.
It's back inside Rangers' own penalty area here. Suter back to Butland. Short to Suter. What have Rangers got left? It's out to Yilmaz on the left-hand side. Low ball forwards. It's come off a defender, but it's favoured Benfica. It comes all the way back through to Trubin. And it is the Ukraine international keeper with his gloves on the ball just now, and he's taking his time over it. And he's full allotted period of time into the midfield as long ball goes. Di Maria couldn't get it under control. Raskin's onto it now for Rangers on the left hand side. Only Roof really in support. Raskin's on his own, 3 around him. He goes down, no free kick. Benfica have it. In fact, Benfica are going to get the free kick over on the far side.
Yeah, you have to say that it's a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. On my viewing from here, it's the opposite side of the pitch. We're going to get a replay of it now. Raskin does well initially to win the ball back. He's been hunted down. Yeah, it's just shoulder to shoulder for me.
It's brilliant actually from Joao Neves, isn't it?
Neves just stronger.
Yeah. A diminutive player in the midfield, Joao Neves, but real upper body strength that we've seen over the course of this tie as Goldson turns it back to his keeper. Rangers are down to the last 2 plus stoppages. Long ball from Butland. They trail 1-0 in the night, looking for Roof. Otamendi with a header away. And flick into the midfield by Kukçu, given away. Lundstrom, Fabio Silva's onto it now. The £35 million man, he's put it out to the far side behind Yilmaz and out for a throw-in.
Well, he's thrown his arm up and trying to blame Yilmaz. It's his bad pass. I've seen that before.
Benfica are going to make a change. Joao Mario is going to come on to replace Angel Di Maria, who scored Benfica's first last week from the penalty spot. And it was a penalty and an own goal in Lisbon that is ultimately, Stephen, putting Rangers out here.
Yeah, and Rangers scored 2 good goals over in Portugal. The penalty for me shouldn't have been a penalty, and the Goldson one's incredibly unfortunate. However, in this home tie, you've got 2 legs to get through and get over. Rangers have not done enough tonight.
Joao Mario, who started the Euro 2016 final for Portugal, comes on, and he's on the ball here, and he can shift it out to Kukçu on this near side. Challenged well by Tavernier. We're well into the 90th minute. Tavernier has it across the halfway line. Matondo on the near side touchline. Tavernier though gives it away this time. I think he got caught in 2 minds there, and Kukçu's onto it, and Tavernier's out of position. Kukçu's got no real interest in driving forward, looking for another goal. Benfica don't need another goal, and it's Joao Mario's pass straight out of play for a throw-in. And all eyes are going to be on the 4th official's board. There's not really been any VAR stoppages, so really just for the subs and the goal celebrations and that one VAR check which proved crucial. 5 minutes added and we're into the first of them. Rangers have 5 minutes to save their Europa League season. Group winners in the autumn, as Tavernier puts it into the box. It was aimed there for Cantwell, cleared by Otamendi, and out it goes.
Great defending by Otamendi there. It was a fantastic ball by Tavernier, but well read.
Tavernier takes the throw into Raskin, back to Tavernier, rolls it back to Goldson. Goldson into the centre circle for Suter. And now it's with Yilmaz. Short ball to Fabio Silva, trying to spin Ba over on the far side. Joao Mario for company 2. It's back to Yilmaz. Now it's played to Lundstrom, forward to Roof, loses it though. Benfica have it back with Joao Mario. They've been comfortable since scoring. The Rangers have it with Lundstrom. They just need one thing in the attacking third to happen, one little moment of magic to take this tie to extra time. But their need is urgent. We've played one of the 5 minutes of added time. Yilmaz with the chip ball into the Benfica box. Roof with a header wide, but he was fouling his man, and that's going to be a free kick to Benfica, and that will eat up more precious seconds. And Benfica are going to make another change here, and Rangers just toiling to make any kind of impression in that attacking third.
Yeah, that's it, Liam. And the ball there from Yilmaz, it was a poor ball. Roof was always second favourite against Silva for it. Ended up giving the foul away. Another substitution, just wastes another 30 seconds or so.
It's the goal scorer Rafa Silva who's coming off, and the midfielder Thiago Gouveia, 22-year-old, comes on. He's been at the club for a while now. Portugal under 21 international. He played with Tavares of Hibs and Duke of Aberdeen in the Benfica B team. Came off the bench last week. Rangers have just lost another minute of the stoppage time. 2 have gone, 3 remain. They are 1-0 down at Ibrox. Goldson inside his own half for Tavernier. Dink ball down the right. Goldson continuing his run. Otamendi will head it away. Matondo gets onto it. On the stretch though is Florentino. Kukçu through the legs of his man there now. A chance for Benfica to come forward with Joao Neves. Out to Gouveia on this near side. Side football in field as Kukçu dancing away from a couple of challenges, straight into Tavernier though, and it ricochets back to Jack Butland. 1-0 Benfica, 3-2 in aggregate. Suter has at the edge of his box. Goldson goes back to his keeper, really needs to go route one now. Long it comes from Butland this time, aimed for Roof. Challenged by Otamendi, who's put in an excellent performance tonight. The veteran looked a little bit shaky at times last week, but This has been the Otamendi we've seen for years and years. Cantwell goes down, no free kick. Rangers can't make the ball set. And now Raskin finds Suter. 2 minutes left. Yilmaz, left-hand side of the box. Fabio Silva, good skill, gets away from one man. Still he has it. He waits way too long. Benfica get it half away. Cantwell goes for it. It goes just wide of the right-hand post. He's claiming corner. Doesn't look like he's getting one. And it's Rangers 0, Benfica 1. And the seconds ticking away. There's only a minute and a half left of the stoppages.
There were just too many bodies in the way there. It should have been a corner for me. There's just too many bodies for Silva. Ends up giving it away. Breaks to Cantwell. He gets the snapshot off. I do think it comes off the Benfica player, but the back kick's been given.
Taken by Truben. Out to play. Rangers throw. Is there one chance left?
Throw Golson up for the last minute. We're going to launch the balls in.
It's played short to Raskin on the halfway line. Golson now making his way forward. Yilmaz has it over on the left-hand side. It's a long, raking deep ball, but it's too close to Truben, who holds on at the penalty spot. And that's too easy for the Benfica keeper, who's been underworked this evening, I think it's fair to say. The attempts that Rangers have managed on target, they've only been 3 of them have been comfortable saves, and here comes Joao Mario driving forward into the Rangers box. Goldson's covering, shifts it in field to Yilmaz, who dinks it clear. There's only 30 seconds left though. Try to play for a Rangers throw-in. It's now or never for the Scottish Premiership League leaders. Fabio Silva brought down, free kick, and this has to go long into the box because there's no real time to do anything else.
Butlin's gone up.
There's no time left after this. This is it for Rangers, and the free kick is much closer to the halfway line than it is the Benfica box.
Such a high line from Benfica as well, eh?
Tavernier over it. Now or never for Rangers. Long ball, long towards the 18-yard line. Golson gets his head onto it. Flicked away by Ausnes, out to this near side. Matondo has it. Matondo level with the penalty spot. Shifts it infield to Cantwell. Gets it under control and just loses it at the crucial moment. Still it's out here, but Benfica win it back. We're in added time here. And the Portuguese champions in possession. Here's Raskin. Next added time for the subs, evidently. Tavernier out to Fabio Silva on that left-hand side. Back to Tavernier. Tavernier dinks it. That's a poor ball, and it's easily away by Florentino. The ref said, I'll look at his watch here. Roger Schmidt is shouting for the full-time whistle. It's not happened yet. Suter goes long. Aim for Kemar Roof. Comes off Otamendi. Breaks back towards Roof on the slide, but that's it. It's all over. Rangers are out of Europe. They've been beaten by Benfica. 3-2 on aggregate it finishes. And that solitary goal by Rafa Silva in the second half of the second leg is enough to take the Portuguese champions through to the Europa League quarter-finals at Rangers' expense. It was always going to be a difficult tie, drawn against one of the big guns of European football. But there was to be no magic moments that were woven through Rangers' Europa League run to the final 2 seasons ago. And those thrillers here against Braga and Leipzig in particular. And what's cost them really is a penalty and an own goal in the first leg in Lisbon. And an inability really to test Truben, the Benfica goalkeeper, in this second leg. They were much better in the Estadio da Luz. They were much more threatening in the Estadio da Luz. But that Rafa Silva goal, which survived a VAR check for offside, just as the second leg ticked into its final quarter, has proven to be the key goal in the tie. And it came just a minute or so after Rangers didn't heed a warning from their own corner up the other end, when Tengsted really should have put Benfica in front. And then just a couple of phases of play later, exactly the same scenario. Rangers corner, Benfica stole it off them. Di Maria with a cushion header into the path of Rafa Silva. He was beyond the last defender, but he was inside his own half, and that's why the VAR had a good look at it before eventually overturning the on-field decision, which was initially offside. Rangers now have to focus on domestic matters. They've got a treble to win. That's what they will set their sights on now. League Cup in the bag, the Premiership title and the Scottish Cup still to play for. But there will be no more Europa League football here this season, because it's finished after the second leg of this last 16 tie. Rangers 0, Benfica 1, with the Portuguese champions going through 3-2 on aggregate.